I guess it looks like it actually worked this time. Look at that. We made it through an intro. Things can only improve from here, can't they?
What a complete up.
Oh, man. Yeah. Like somebody in the chat had said there, I think we needed to add more cowbell to that one. Yeah. Stupid timer thing. It's only supposed to kick off and start its timer when you activate the scene. But for some reason, it's kicking in all the time now. I'm going to have to replace that plugin.
Yeah, we'll just get rid of it. We're not going to need it anymore.
Yeah, could be true. Could be true. Could be true. So what's happening out there? How's everybody in Chatland doing? What's happening your way, Dunk?
Keeping me head down, just cracking on with work. More of the same.
Yeah.
Just keeps coming in.
For those of you that don't know, Dunk sorts through other people's recyclables. So
yeah, I'm still counting the votes for the 2020 election.
Could be
don't
true
put me
there.
off. Don't put me off. Don't put me off. 1,660. Oh shit! Was that 7 or 8? Fuck.
I don't think it really matters. Just give one to the Dems and move on.
Start again. 1.
Oh man! So you're going to move all those toothpicks to another pile and try again?
It's going to be a long night.
Exactly. So nobody interrupt him while he's counting his toothpicks or votes. Yeah. So you're the one that rigged it then.
Yeah, there's one for you, one for them, one for me, one for you, one for them, one for me. People wonder why they're so Americans voted that year, and I took them all.
It's like counting baggies of cocaine after an evening in an all-night casino. I hope that we can get through this without too much current news and stuff. I would like that very much. I can say very much that I had no time to look into any today. I didn't even get to show up for Rick's Car for Ukraine group roundtable stream today. I literally only got myself finally free like 10 minutes before this show started.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to join Rick's show while a net show was going on today because I run a net show from here. I run all the shows from here, right? And for our channel.
Yeah. I was just like, just our channel.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You would be damn good, but you're not that good.
Yeah, I don't eat, I don't sleep, I do nothing but produce shows, right? You know, I got an IV that you can't see, it runs up my arm. And then I was going to use my son's computer. I was going to bring it down here. It's just a Mac Mini, plug it into one of my monitors, and join Rick's through that. But Felix came home last night, so there was no way to do that. So I couldn't really struggle it. Yeah. I didn't realize until like 15 minutes before Rick was going live. I was like, wait a minute. I didn't set my audio subsystem up to be able to isolate a net show from me joining Rick's. And in order to do that properly, I would have to interrupt a net show for a second. So I think I'm just going to leave well enough alone here. Right?
Yeah. We had enough of Mr. Screw Up today.
Yeah. So you know what I think I might do, though? I think I might save up a few $100 and buy myself a used Mac Mini for just such an occasion in the future and just have that extra computer, right? You never know.
Yeah.
You know,
or a little lappy.
Yeah. You know, actually, that'd probably be, yeah. I mean, even an original M1 Air for cheap, right? You know, would be enough to just join a Google Meets or whatever, you know.
Yeah, Chromebook. That would do it.
No offense.
As long as you don't want to install anything else on it.
Yeah. I couldn't do a Chromebook. I'm just too much into computery things, right?
Yeah, things working and stuff.
Yeah. Oh man. So I had one of those days. I when Felix is away, he doesn't like Chinese food. He's not into thin little noodles, and he doesn't like rice. So, he doesn't like goopy sauces and stuff. So
he doesn't like maggots or worms.
Yeah, exactly.
Basically.
That's pretty much what it comes down to. So
how did he like his gah?
Yeah,
did he like that?
Oh, he likes it live, man. Oh yeah, yeah. He likes his red wigglers. So number one, I forgot to put it away last night in the fridge because I only ate half of it. They did give you way too much at this place. So, I had prawns and chicken and chicken chow mein, and so I wasted it. Right, I'm not going to take the chance of eating it with leaving it out all night. So then this morning, when I'm like, oh damn, I can't believe I did that. I go to put it in the garbage bag. Nice. I drop the little tub of sweet and sour sauce, and it explodes all over my cabinets and my floor and everything. So I'm like, oh, for God's sake. So I grab one of my spray cleaner bottles and I just give it a shot so it doesn't like dry out and become nasty. And I grab my coffee and I go out to hit my little shed. That's my little smoking room. And what do? I drop my coffee and break the mug trying to get out the door.
What is it with you? You're like Captain Klutz today.
I know. I almost gave up right there and just, went out to the corner and put my thumb out and ended up in Albuquerque like Bugs Bunny, right?
For fuck's sake, don't light a cigarette. You just like set by your eyebrows or something.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I go to rub my eye and I'll poke it through my other ear. Like it's just one of those days, man. I can't do anything right. Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, talking about things, people who can't do things right. Talk about things with people who can't do things right. You must have heard about Mark Rober's latest video with the Tesla, testing the Tesla, and doing the old Looney Tunes, Roadrunner Coyote thing, where you just, with Roadrunner.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I don't know that creator's name, but where he did the thing and painted the wall. Yeah.
Yeah,
that was
the Tesla just
awesome.
Flying through it.
I knew that was going to happen. It's got no sense of depth. It doesn't know, right?
Yeah, I know. And all the other tests he did, where they had like a child mannequin, and he just like plowed straight through him.
Oh, yeah. There's one where the head separates from the body in this amazingly awesome fashion in slow motion. That was so good.
The thing is, we all know how litigious Elon Musk is as far as these sort of things are concerned. But, he could sue him, but would he have grounds? Because it did what it did, Well, it wasn't fate.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't doubt that Tesla's freaking out about this right now, and the legal experts are trying to figure out a way to make it so they could have a case that sticks. But he used other cars in the test that have better sensors like LiDAR and whatnot. And as such, I don't think Tesla would have a leg to stand on because your system sucks, dude. It's just cameras. There's no way you're ever going to have an intelligent enough machine behind that thing to see through the tricks. It's not going to work.
I wonder if the people who provided the second car with the LiDAR, it was their suggestion to make the video.
Yeah. But it also shows that nobody should want Tesla cybercabs on the road unless they do LiDAR and as well for true depth and sensing of objects, and not just this looking at things and figuring it out. It's not going to work.
I just don't understand the mentality behind that. Why just stick with a one simple, because we all know. Well, we know about talking with flat earthers and things like that. So the human senses aren't good enough. That's why we use all this other magic, mechanisms out there to help us see and help us, understand the world we live in better. And LiDAR. Humans would be a lot better if we had LiDAR. You'd have blind people. Wouldn't need guide dogs or anything. They just
nobody could sneak up on you. It'd be great.
You got eyes in your back of your head.
Yeah, exactly. But it's foolish to think that he could do it this way. And then instead of admitting defeat, to keep going, right? I mean, come on. Why doesn't he just finally put better sensors in the car? I know every one of the engineers, software and hardware would be like, oh, thank God, right? Because it would make self-driving so much easier on their team.
Yeah, by 2017, I think it was, wasn't it, Elon?
Yeah.
He said it was November or December 2017. I think he said he wasn't too sure.
Yeah.
But well done on hitting that mark.
Oh yeah,
well, hitting that mark. That's what the Tesla's really good for.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It's all dummies called Mark.
Oh, it was a funny thing he did. That was a good one.
Yeah.
You know what's funny?
I really wish they just like painted the tunnel on the side of a mountain wall.
Oh,
like
so Roadrunner style. I know. Yeah.
Yeah. Black.
Yeah. The what was I gonna say?
Right.
Lost it. Gone. Shoo.
You got the script in front of you.
No. Oh, it's just actually cooking up a bottle toke. I'm in Canada.
It also
say that.
I mean, with Tesla stock just plummeting right now.
Like a starship.
Confidence in Tesla is plummeting, and everybody hates Tesla. They hate Musk. They hate his car. The Cybertruck's been recalled. Everything's going bad. Like you say, Starship's falling out the sky like nobody's business. And it's like come back because I remember when he was like talking about Starship or even just his rocket, SpaceX company. He always said the best part is one that doesn't exist. Which is because it can't fail. Which is still
the best seat is sitting on the ground. That's stupid.
So the best Tesla is not having
Ford
radar. Yeah. The best Tesla is a Volvo.
Actually, that's probably correct because Volvo are Chinese owned now, right?
Yes. And of course, I'm sure Jeremy Clarkson is laughing his tits off now, hadn't been sued by Tesla when they first tested the bloody thing.
Yeah. Yeah. Took a bunch of years, but wow, did he get some vindication out of that?
Yeah.
I know. It's kind of sad too because there's something to like about the Tesla Model S as a car. I'm not a fan of their cars that don't actually have a dashboard in front of the driver, like a Model 3. There's no way I could have driven one of those things, always looking over to the side to see the speed and stuff. No way. Just simply put a screen in front of the driver, dude. It's like in the real world at your level of supply, a screen would be what, $8? Just give me the fucking screen, you dope. But
just a dial.
Yeah, seriously.
Just a mechanical dial. It doesn't have to be digital. Just a mechanical dial.
Yeah, this isn't an original Cinquecento that costs like 600 whatever, like come on. But there was some things to like about their cars. And now they're just an object of ridicule and hate because the man's mouth. And it's such a strange place to be in, where a company that was the darling of so many people is now this hated entity because one man is a moron.
Well, I mean, this was the thing I was thinking about, because didn't Henry Ford go through a point where he was kind of like hated by everybody?
He had a bunch of striking workers like beaten up and put down. They called it the Ford Massacre. There was some shooting and stuff. And then he actually shrank the back seat of Ford cars because he didn't like people messing around in the back seat. You know what I'm talking about, right? He didn't like that idea. Yeah. Some reporters said that a whole whack of children of this generation had been conceived in a Model T's back seat. And Henry Ford didn't like that. He's very Puritan, right? And he even had a squad of people sneaking around watching his employees to make sure that they weren't behaving badly, or you'd get fired.
He had a squad of people sitting in the back of his car.
Yeah.
Stop it.
He had a shooting range in the basement of the big main Ford factory. So him and his crony dude, his bodyguard, could just go shooting pistols.
Yeah, but it doesn't have like a few Jews running around. Hit the Jew, hit the Jew. Yeah, because he was a massive racist as well, wasn't he? And anti-Semite.
Yeah. And he was he was convinced that unions were communism and they were just going to totally take over the capitalized system of America. And he is a real screwed up dude, man. Treated his son like absolute shit.
So the moral of the story is a company can recover from an absolute moron.
That's true. So get Tesla, fire that guy now. Right.
Or, wait for the stocks to get like really low, and then buy some.
Yeah.
And then just let sit on them for 20 years.
Yeah. Well,
I think the only thing is for him to leave. He's got to be replaced at Tesla.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can see out.
Well, Tesla is a public company. They have a board of directors, and there's going to come a time when there's so much pressure because of the stock price that they will have to do something about this. They really will. Yeah. He'll still retain his stock and his valuation and stuff, but they're going to have to do something soon.
Yeah, I mean that's what they did with Steve Jobs, isn't it? At Apple, they just board of directors said, "Right, you're out. It's my company."
Yeah, exactly. So I can't wait to see how this unfolds, because as soon as one board of directors makes a move, what is somebody like SpaceX going to do? Because SpaceX with Musk knows there's contracts coming, but at the same time, how is that going to play out? I don't know. Right?
Well, they haven't targeted SpaceX or Neuralink in any shape or form, because I guess there's no like Neuralink offices. You can't go and protest outside of like a little research center somewhere in the mid Silicon Valley. I don't know how that works. And SpaceX, he's managed to stay pretty distant from SpaceX. So that's just running by itself.
They're probably
people are talking about it.
Yeah. I imagine
especially with the cuts, all the cuts he's doing with Doge.
Yeah.
Everybody just brings up how much money he's being sent to Musk companies from the government.
Yeah, I mean, but even if none of this money goes anywhere but to pay down the American deficit, right? Because it's really, really big. I mean, okay, fine and good, but you're still destroying everything America stands on to do it. It's just, I don't see any good coming out of it in the long run.
I saw
it's going to cost America a lot of money to buy the goodwill out of this situation when Trump is finally either removed or replaced or whatever, right?
Yeah. Hang on, where's the green room? I'm going to pop it in the green room.
What's going on? Oh, I didn't even set up my grabber. Okay, hold on. Get that ready. Yeah. My image grabber. Not my sack grabber. I always got that ready. All right. Oh, I'm not even in the right room. Okay, hold on.
Oh, failure all around.
Yeah, god damn, eh? Okay, here we go.
Yeah. So, now this chart is super.
Gomer Pyle. Who's that guy?
I have no idea. But off to the right, you see that little slither? See that slither on the graph? That's the money saved by Doge firings. The blue one on the right is the military spend. That if you're looking for saving money, look at the big fat blue line.
Yeah,
I'd look at that. Because maybe had those stories where they were selling, the hand dispenser things for $80 a piece.
Yeah,
in the airplanes when they're like, a couple of bucks.
Yeah.
You just look into those defense contracts, and I bet you there's some people just raking the money in.
Oh yeah,
left, right, and center. Yeah, just cut them. Cut the F-35. It's shit. Right into BAE systems. They're much better. Yeah.
Exactly.
Try French.
Yeah, what we need is biplanes. Good old wooden stock. That's what, you know.
Yeah, made from Canadian lumber. Oh, no. That making cost too much.
Going to have a new Air Force that's all based on gliders. So on a windy day, look out for us.
Oh, no, they're invading from the wrong direction.
Yeah. They can see us, but I can't get there.
Yeah, what's wrong with hot air balloons? Yeah, bring them back.
I look back on hot air balloons. You've got this big balloon, and all it takes is like a bird's claw, and it's gone. And you've got this little basket, and people are just like, yeah, no, there's nothing that could get me to go up in one of those.
Yeah. So where's the parachutes? What do you mean you don't have any?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But I am in an incredibly, nice wicker basket.
Yeah. If we start to fall, just grab one of those sandbags hanging over the edge. What will that do? You'll hit faster.
Yeah. As we all know, there is nothing stronger than a wicker basket.
Yeah, I know. It's just like, you ever wanted to feel like an egg in a really precarious position?
Not these days. Can't afford to be an egg.
Oh, yeah. Well, in America, yeah, there's a lump of gold and an egg sitting on a table, and the lump of gold says to the egg, "Sure wish I was valuable like you." But we laugh about it.
Don't talk to me, scum.
But we laugh about it, right? We laugh about it. But think about how many products that we consume in a somewhat pre-made or very processed form that have egg in them. I mean, you can't even make bread.
Pancakes.
Yeah. Waffles.
Right?
Scrambled eggs.
You can make bread with that egg. Scrambled eggs. Chocolate eggs. Kinder eggs.
Boiled. Soft or hard?
An egg sandwich, or an egg and cress sandwich, or a bacon and egg sandwich. God, the possibilities are limitless.
Oh yeah. What are you going to do? Like, what did children do? They had to go out and find golf balls that were painted.
Cheerios. Just chuck them out on the lawn.
Yeah.
Go for a Cheerio hunt this year.
Yeah.
Rock. Small rocks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, dear. It's funny. I saw there was down the supermarket today. There was a bag of 24 chocolate eggs. For Easter egg hunting, and I was looking at it thinking, "Fucking hell, they're cheaper than actual eggs."
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's
crazy.
crazy.
A chocolate egg omelet is not very nice.
Yeah. Imagine if you're like some small farmer in America somewhere, and your birds didn't get the bird flu because they're isolated, and you're good. Every time a chicken lays an egg, you're like, "There's $5, and there's $5."
There's a bell somewhere in Lloyd that rings. Insure the egg immediately.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, well, they'll start auctioning off half a dozen eggs at Sotheby's and things like that.
Yeah, exactly. I wonder how much effort is America actually making right now to like I heard America's running around trying to get eggs from here and there and everywhere, but as much as it's important to keep getting eggs because of, like we said, there's a lot of products and stuff, isn't it just as important to get birds too that aren't sick so that you can have your own damn eggs again?
Well, it kind of makes you wonder, if you've got a chicken that lays an egg, a hen, should we just say, a hen that lays an egg. Now, is it more valuable to have it fertilized and to grow another hen, or just sell it as an egg?
Yeah, exactly.
And it'll get to the point where, it costs you just make more money just selling the egg.
Yeah,
and then there'll be no hens there because no one's fertilizing the eggs.
Exactly. And in 50 years, we all have to keep ostriches to get eggs because their eggs are bigger. Right? You can feed a family on one.
Well, you'll have those scientists who will be trying to turn woolly mammoths into hens again. Using DNA.
Yeah. Lots of poop, but big eggs.
we got the DNA of a Tyrannosaurus Rex. We're going to try and make a hen out of it.
Oh man, I wonder would an animal like that have a really big egg, or does it just have really small young? Right? I mean, how big can an egg get?
T-Rex.
Yeah. Because I've seen on a few of those like Walking with Dinosaur like documentaries and stuff. A T-Rex has a nest and babies are born, but there's never enough sense of scale in it for me to totally understand how big that egg was.
They're about 10, 12 inches.
But like,
long. Yeah, they're sort of like that. So the baby T-Rexes are very, very, very cute.
Yeah,
it's like baby alligators and crocodiles. They are really, really cute.
Yeah,
with their tiny little pointy teeth.
Yeah, more kickable than scary.
But boy, do you need a lot of kibbles for those T-Rexes when they grow up.
Oh, I bet, man. Can you imagine? Honey, where's the dog?
Dog food.
Yeah, where? What kind of?
You go down to the pet shop and you get those your frozen mice to feed to your python or whatever. You go down to the pet shop to get a frozen elephant to throw into your T-Rex pen.
Yeah. There's no such thing as a place for lost animals. It's just a place where they keep them for the T-Rex until you go to pick them up.
Yeah.
You'd have to literally raise bears or something,
Yeah. It would probably be the end of the Chihuahua because those dogs just get stuck in the teeth.
Oh yeah.
Need something for them to chew on.
Maybe the T-Rex would have respect for the Chihuahua because it fears nothing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it should fear everything, right? Even its own shadow, but they don't seem to have any fear until you yell at them or something.
Oh, so you're thinking of those YouTube videos where you see different species of pets, becoming best buddies. So a T-Rex with a Chihuahua.
Yeah.
Cuddling up, sleeping together.
Yeah. This is great. You know what's really funny? I've been dying for my replacement glasses to come in because it's really hard to see some of the information on my screen right now. I just got the message that they're in for pickup. Seriously, you couldn't have told me 2 hours ago. I could have had them on right now. So, yeah.
It's a Sunday.
It is? Yeah, it is. You're right. That means that they probably got them yesterday. No, they could have been couriered up, right? They get paid just a few hours from here. So, I mean, they could probably, put a bag on the back of a hobo and just say, stick your thumb up and end up in the valley and he'd get here, Pass them on with a couple of lot lizards that just go from truck stop to truck stop.
Oh, you mean like an Uber delivery service, basically?
Yeah, well, it's delivering something, that's for sure.
It's not far off Uber drivers.
So, animals and eggs. I want to go back to that. What animals lay big eggs? Or at least medium size, because I guess if they're too big and you want to bake bread, you end up having to make 15 loaves because you used an ostrich egg. So, what other animals lay eggs besides chickens? Should humans? What?
Elephants.
Elephant. I've heard elephants have great eggs.
Yeah,
little leathery,
big brown suggy ones.
Yeah, little leathery.
Well, obviously the ostrich. That's there was that massive prehistoric bird that disappeared. That was they made big eggs, but I think ostrich is about as big as it gets.
Yeah,
but turtle eggs are supposed to be delicious. Well, that's why they're a protected species on the beaches to stop people raiding the eggs. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? We need turtle farms so I can get me some turtle eggs, man. I like eggs, and I
Crocodiles.
appreciate what. Yeah, but I mean, seriously, a crocodile to get an egg? I think we could do this a little easier, right?
Well, yeah, I would say you got to be a very, very brave picker of crocodile eggs.
Plus, I mean, think about the animal. You got to put a lot of food energy into a crocodile, and then what? You just get some eggs every so often, like once a year or whatever. You need a chicken that just shits them out daily, right?
There's plenty of homeless people. We can deal with two solutions, two problems at the same time.
Are you poor? Would you like to work on an alligator farm?
Not
short hours? Yeah.
Great medical insurance.
Yeah. Well, make sure your mom gets a 50 spot. All right. No. All my lighters are dying at once here. This is terrible. Yeah. But
platypus eggs.
Yeah. But that just means I'm going to have to do a store run. Up. What? Yeah.
Platypus eggs, because it fucks everybody up because it's a mammal. Or is it? We don't know. You don't know what it is. It's a fucking concoction of one of God's jokes.
It kind of looks like somebody threw some bones in a pit and buried them and went, they're going to think this was a real animal.
Yeah. Those were like a Victorian fake creatures that they knock up.
Those were funny, man. Those were funny. Get a candle. Yeah, it's a good idea, grunge thing. Might have to.
People when they first saw the platypus, they thought it was fake. They thought it was literally just stuff just glued together.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just doing a thing here.
Sorry, did you say you're going to go for a store run?
No, well, after the show. I'm not going to do it now because when I get there, if they don't fit quite right, they got to do the whole thing and whatnot. It'll probably take half an hour,
Well, the glasses shop.
Yeah.
Is it going to be open on a Sunday?
Yeah, they're open.
Sunday evening?
Yeah, they'll be open till probably 9.
Wow.
8 for sure.
How very unchristian of them.
Yeah, church. We have a decent population of Christians, but Canada's rapidly giving up on that kind of thinking,
We're open 24 hours. The only thing that isn't open 24 hours is the church.
Well, we have a store in Canada. It's pretty famous. It's in the States too, 7-Eleven, named because it used to be open 7 days a week, 11 hours a day, but they're all open 24 hours now. So figure it out.
That screws up the name, doesn't it?
Yeah. And they never changed the name, man, Yeah.
Yeah, well, because our local, big Tesco down the road, it's open 24 hours a day, except on Sunday. So if 7-Eleven did that, they'd have to change their name to 7 till 7, unless on Sunday when it's 7 till or Tuesday you put your jacket on the lower peg.
Exactly. I always figured if I opened my own little corner store in town somewhere, I would just call it open when I feel like it. The sign would say Monday, I'll be here. Tuesday, I'll be here. Wednesday, and then Friday could be Saturday, maybe Sunday, not a chance. Yeah. That's what I would do.
Just leave the door unlocked. Just help yourself. Put the money in the till.
Yeah, exactly. I'll leave the alligator that I get eggs from at the door to keep people in line.
Yeah, just open up one of those like Amazon stores that, just well, you don't go to a till, do you? You just basically pick up a product, and it knows picks it up, and it knows it's you, and it knows you're walking out the store with it. It's like tracking everything, and it's like, well, you can't even steal from the bloody place.
Yeah. It's like being a criminal, but you paid for it.
It's such a bizarre concept.
Yeah.
It's next to genius, but boy, God, you got to switch on all your little tracking information for that.
Oh, yeah. You know what I was thinking? Speaking of which, I was thinking today, because what happens is during the day, I might have my main glasses, my dailies on for a bit, and then I'll take them off because I'm like reading something up close or something. And then I go to look around for them. And unless they're clearly sitting on something that's a different color so they stand out and I can see them, I find myself going, where the fuck did I put them? And I kind of wish that there was an air tag small enough that I could use them on my glasses. I might have to get like strings, and go with granny strings or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, these ones here, I keep putting them down and then I can't find them after. These do not work in this environment. Oh my God. Okay, fuck that.
I do kind of like have a spare set of glasses, and I noticed the other day I couldn't find either of my sets of glasses. They were both on top of my head.
That's funny. That's funny. I often wear sunglasses on top of my head, and I never gave a shit. I just always put them there. I never get the sunglasses that have the little feet. I always get the more plasticky frames because then they don't get caught in your hair. And I've noticed with these ones, which are plasticky frames, because they're my dailies, I thought they would probably live longer than the more wiry frame ones, for dragging around all the time. I don't want to put them on my head because I can feel it slightly stretching the frame. And I'm thinking to myself, these got to last. They're not a $50 pair of sunglasses, right? These were a little bit more money.
Well, you need to get a plane and just shave off a bit of your temple.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to go that far. But
the thing is, I've been seeing lots of images recently. Don't ask me why, because I have no idea. Lots of sexy images of the Scooby-Doo girls.
Oh,
what's her name?
You brought this up recently too. I think.
Yeah. It just keeps happening. I don't know why. But with the top you're wearing, if you wore glasses, you'd be the non-sexy Thelma.
I could be the nerdy girl. Yeah. Daphne's in blue and Thelma's in orange. Thelma has freckles and Daphne has longer hair. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why it just keeps coming up in my recommendations or something. You clicked on it once, you go, oh, this guy likes a dirty Scooby-Doo.
Yeah. He seems to be your thing, Pretty soon you're going to go to your AI image generation thing and go, Donald Trump in a field of cocks, and it's going to give you Thelma, and
Yeah, I notice. Fred and Shaggy never get the sexed up version. Yeah. Oh. It's with the girls.
Well, Shaggy get all stoned and be chasing the girls around, but I think Fred had
homosexual.
Yeah. I think
Yeah, you could tell because he wore that little blue cravat, didn't he?
Yeah.
That's definitely the sign that I'm gay and I'm open for it. That's gotta be.
So. I think so. Yeah. But didn't they in modern Scooby-Doo make Thelma gay?
I think they tried.
Did they?
But I think Daphne
didn't want to switch sides.
No, they just dabbled a little bit, just curious.
Yeah, every now and then they get a little drunk. Yeah.
Well, they're driving around that
fucking
The thing is, they're driving around that mystery machine. The mystery is what's in the back of that van, because you never see the back of it, and you know what's in the back of it? A mattress.
Yeah. Everybody's fucking while Fred's driving along.
Yeah, they're all at it. Even the bloody dog. He's getting his Scooby snacks.
Yeah, he gets a little salty lick in here and there. Scooby-Doo. Oh, that's funny. What about if you go to the Flintstones? I mean, how many times did Barney and Fred end up in the wrong bedroom on a night, you know?
They put the old keys in the jar.
Yeah, exactly. They go out in the caravan, you know, do a little wife swapping.
Mm.
I wouldn't doubt Bam Bam is Fred's. Who watched that show? I think it's from the late 80s, maybe the early 90s. Dinosaurs. It's like, you know, Muppets or some shit, you know, puppets or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That one.
Yeah, that was the old Jim Henson. Was it Jim Henson?
I think
Jim
so.
Henson.
Yeah. You know, the little baby, not the mama.
Yeah.
And he beat his dad with like a frying pan or whatever.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was almost like the forerunner to Family Guy. Just dinosaurs.
They had
that was good.
It was good. They had one episode and it was Tar Pit Day, and it was the day you take your grandparents out to the big cliff and huck them in a tar pit because they're old. And the daughter's like, "But I don't want to kill grandma." You know.
See, I've seen some people talk about this that series and just the social issues it actually covered.
Yeah,
were quite insane. You know, it was really like modern. You know, into talk about drugs and you know, sexuality and all kinds of stuff.
Oh yeah. It was a really good show that way. It didn't last that long, couple of seasons. You know, it's one of those shows you look back on.
It went extinct.
Yeah. The father was a tree pusher, so he was basically just like a sort of quote unquote human chainsaw, and he would just push down trees. Yeah. What about, here's an obscure show to see if anybody knows this one. Anybody know an animated show from the early days of Fox, like Married with Children days kind of thing, called Gary the Rat? It was Kelsey Grammer playing the lead character Gary, and he's such a human slime ball that one night he actually turns into a 6-foot human rat. And it was really funny. I think I got
never heard of it.
I think I got some copies buried away on an old hard drive. I'll put them on the Plex server. If not, I'll find it because I'm sure it's out there somewhere. But it's really, really funny. Well, there's like there's so many. It's almost too much for television when it came out. It was the first television show I ever seen where the character swore in the intro of the show. He transforms into a rat, walks over to the mirror and goes, "Gary the Rat." Shit. And then the theme song plays. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. I was like, holy fuck, man, this is on television? You know? There was one episode, this guy with tattoos and face piercings and stuff walks into his office and he says, "Now get out before I get a magnet out and drag you, or before I get a magnet and drag you out by your face." Oh, it's funny, man. Really worth checking out. I'm sure you find it on YouTube, but I'm going to find some pristine copies and put them in the Plex server.
Yeah, I never heard of that. I do watch YouTube channels that pick up on obscure TV stuff, but that one's never come up.
Oh, it's one of the, and it didn't last. I think it started as a little web cartoon or something, and then it got picked up and boom. And I think there's only like 13 episodes, maybe 15 or something. It's too bad. Yeah.
Yeah, and there is some really obscure shit out there. Really is.
Yeah. There was a really cool show, early 90s, I believe, late 80s. Or no, I think early 90s. God, I can't remember. I'm going to guess late 80s. And it was called Sledgehammer. And it was a little send-off of cop shows and stuff from the 70s. It was hilarious funny.
Yes, I remember Sledgehammer. I remember Sledgehammer being funny. I'm not too sure if it's still funny. I'd have to watch it again.
it would be 6 beers in funny if you're in the mood for that kind of throwback humor, you know?
Because I mean, you know the two Ronnies, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And they used to do these little film series that became kind of like popular. And one of the most famous ones they did was the Phantom Raspberry Blower of Old London Town. And back in the day that went out, people just went mad. It was hilarious. It was the best thing ever made. Well, it was on YouTube. Someone had cut the thing together, and I looked back at it, and I thought, oh my god, this is embarrassing. It's so embarrassing. It's not funny. It's so puerile and stupid and not funny.
Yeah, you're like somebody put on Benny Hill because this is childish, right?
It's just staggering to think that, you know, back in the day, this is the benchmark of quality.
Yeah. Oh yeah, well, it's funny too because you go back to the 70s and like Three's Company was a really popular show in North America. Try watching one episode right now without just literally doing that a couple times and going, nope, this isn't going to work.
A lot of sketch comedy was really bad as well because, what's it? Dave Allen. Dave Allen himself was a very, very funny guy. But you look at some of his sketches now, they are so dire, really poor.
I love Dave Allen when he was on. We had the big satellite dish so we could get BBC, right? And we watched it in Canada. My dad was a big fan of that kind of stuff. And I remember loving it. And I also remember thinking and knowing that at the age I was watching it, I was lucky that my parents were letting me watch it, right?
No, I'm only picking on the sketches in the show. Because Dave Allen himself was hilarious.
That's what I'm trying to get to. I don't remember it offhand anymore, except for with a fond memory. And I can only imagine if I was to watch it, I'd be like, oh.
Yeah. Well, it's the same with, what's his name? Crocodile Dundee. God, what's his bloody name?
Crocodile Dundee.
Yeah. His name escapes me. But he had a show in Paul Hogan. Yeah, he had a show in Australia. And again, some of it when he just like sitting.
What was it called? Camera, That's Not a Knife.
I don't know what it was called. This is not funny. I think it was called.
Yeah.
I think it was very, very clever. I think they called it the Paul Hogan Show. So just to make sure you knew. But again, the sketches themselves were dire.
Yeah.
But the actual.
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you this. If you want to see a sketch comedy show from the 70s that stands up and holds its weight now, go and watch some classic episodes of the Carol Burnett Show, and you'll be on the fucking floor.
That's not the one I thought you were going to say.
It is still to this day because the show quickly became a competition to see who could make the others bust character and laugh live on the fucking show. Right? And it is incredible even to this day. It will kill you. Especially if you get Harvey Korman and Tim Conway, I believe, are the two. When they start going, it's just ridiculous. It's funny. Absolutely. I'm going to put some of the greatest ones of that in the Plex too. Somebody make a list of this shit for me because I'm going to forget.
Oh, you can watch back the show.
We're
watching Porridge again today. That came on the telly. I've mentioned it to you before. That's Roddy Barker in that, and God, that is still so good today. Yeah, even from the 70s.
The show's not that smooth though. It's a little lumpy.
Yeah.
Everybody gets a dad joke once in a blue moon, don't they?
Just because I mentioned Roddy Barker doesn't mean you can cover another bad joke.
I finally found a use for that soundtrack. Too bad it was that sound effect. Too bad it was myself.
Yeah. It suits you.
Sadly, it does. Sadly, it does.
Yeah, just call that the dick button.
Oh. So,
Oh, another comedy routine I've been watching recently.
what may
Hang
that
on.
be?
The Bernie Sanders show.
Man, that guy's on fire right now, isn't he?
It's fantastic. But the funny thing is, where's the plan?
Oh, I think he's just like Iron Man in the movie. I have a plan. Attack. I think that's all it is, right? He's just simply had enough. I think I think literally the anger is keeping him alive at this point, right? You know?
Yeah, it's the only thing that's keeping his bloodstream moving. Yeah, no, I think you're right. I mean, because he admits he's like 86 or something like that, 87.
Something.
He says, I'm not running for elections, but I'm making sure that other people will run for elections.
Yeah.
That's what all his rallies are all about, though.
I love that about him too, though. He's like, look, don't mistake this for a run for the election. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just trying to get you people out of your fucking seats and open your mouths, you know?
Yeah. Oh dear.
Yeah.
It's a shame he just like turn up, armed to the teeth with an AR-15, just shooting up into the air. Let's go!
Yeah.
Storm the Capitol.
Yeah.
Again.
Mr. Sanders, I have a question. Are you a Republican? Yes. Next.
Yeah. What about your brother? That guy's in the military, Colonel Sanders. Can't we get him involved?
Chicken.
Jesus, Colonel Sanders. I mean, talk about stolen valor. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Jason in the chat there, asking a question there. You got to email the ShillsUA@gmail.com and we'll see if we can get you set up.
What's he want?
Keys to the universe, but I said, well, I could probably get you to the moon because we got a few whales going there next week on a shipment, right? Yeah.
Whale eggs.
Yeah. Well, if you don't get the whale eggs onto the moon, how are they going to hatch? It's a well-known thing that whale eggs need a vacuum environment to hatch. Right, that's why South Park sent that whale to the moon. South Park did a Free Willy type episode, except they were convinced that the whale was an alien species and needed to get back home to its life on the moon or something. So they arranged to sneak a whale onto a rocket, shot it up to the moon, and the last scene you see in the episode is this dead whale laying on the moon. It's just ridiculous. That's as quick as I can make the story, right?
That's just perfect.
Yeah, those dick notes.
That's how fast I like to watch my South Park episodes.
Yeah. I mean, TikTok takes too long for me. You got to get to the fucking point, So, who's got a hot mother, and when do I get her phone number? Everybody that watches us is like
90.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out how to nicely say nobody here has a living mother.
Yeah. Yeah, there might not be hot mothers, there might be frozen.
Yeah.
What about sister? We'll go sister.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, sure. Yeah, why not? I drive past rest homes, Richard in the chat there. I know where that is.
No, we want a hot sister that looks like Daphne from Scooby-Doo. So
two-dimensional and everything. That way,
yeah, just you and her will look. You look like a pair.
If a two-dimensional woman is chubby, can you tell? Like if a two-dimensional dude has got like a real pot belly thing going, but it's not sticking out sideways, it's only sticking out forwards. Can you tell? Except you just get that little wrinkle, like.
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I literally just pulled a mater there,
Yeah. Go straight off the edge there.
I used to crash into her just so I could talk to her. If I do that, Felix is going to be like, I heard that.
Mm.
Oh, yeah, I have to feed him. I suppose I'll have to order him something because, we're doing
another
this.
gazelle leg.
Yeah, exactly. Anybody got a spare elephant? I need about half of it. Yeah.
Just lower the calf into his room, but on a harness.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Even just feeding them like waffles and sausages, you have to wear iron gloves to make sure that you keep your hand, right? We switched to edible plates just to make it easier, right? Just, Yeah, I serve everything in a pie crust now.
Genius.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We have 6 blenders. So I just put everything in, proportional. So each blender gets some potatoes, some broccoli, some steak, or whatever. And you just chew it all up in a thing, pour it into like 5 pie plates and slide it under the slit in the door. And then that way.
Then you just see all the walls and the door rocking.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's metal reinforced, so the room can take them, right?
You got a little kid sitting in the car going, but where's the goat?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's even worse when it's a full moon, but we won't get into that. It's when he becomes Tiger Boy. But yeah, you know what? That makes me want chicken pot pie.
Oh.
No, Felix, that's my chicken pot pie. I could be Eric Cartman. That would be awful. I'd be a loudmouth fat kid that nobody likes instead of a loudmouth old guy that only a few people like.
Yeah. Apparently, according to subscribers, 452.
Yeah.
And a couple of them might only be here because of me.
Well, I think more than a few now these days,
Or maybe we'd have more if it wasn't me.
Yeah. Or more if it wasn't me. Well, should I be AI?
Right? Yeah, maybe we have more subscribers and neither has turned up.
What if we switch the voices? So I talk for your stuff and you talk for my stuff, right? What if that worked out?
That's hurting my head. It would be like when you hear yourself, in your headphones, and there's like a slight delay, and it would be really confusing.
That would be, yeah. That's funny too. Speaking of hearing yourself in your headphones with a slight delay, if you're, a budding podcaster or live streamer or whatever, and you're doing the whole headphones and microphone thing, you need to hear yourself in your headphones. I do right now, but there's no delay. If you hear delay, you're doing it wrong.
No, if you hear delay, you end up speaking like this because you hear yourself.
Well, it also makes you talk slower and slower and slower because you're trying to fall in time with the sound of your own voice, right?
I know, it's hilarious. Yeah. It's hilarious.
It's really funny, right? But you need what's called real-time monitoring, live monitoring, right? That's what you need. My audio and my headphones is the same level for myself as it is for Dunk. And if you do that properly and balance it correctly, that's when you don't step on each other much when you're talking, because I can hear he's trying to talk to me. But if I didn't have him loud enough, I wouldn't know if he's laughing or talking, and I just keep talking. And that's when people talk over each other for the most part. That's how you can tell what's going on in a podcast. Oh, yeah.
Now you know the perfect time to ignore me.
Yeah. But it's true. I can't say much, but I'm going to be doing some lessons on microphone choices, how to set up a microphone, as well as how to do some OBS stuff. And there's some other YouTubers that are collaborating on this. And there's going to be sort of like a pool of these videos that you'll be able to access and whatnot. I can't say much about it yet, but it's coming up pretty soon. I'm getting ready to record my first one and, start editing it and stuff right now coming up. So, yeah. And unlike so many of these top 5 podcast microphone, blah, blah, blah videos that you get, and then you go and you buy
it's this one or nothing else.
Yeah. Oh my God. Every one of those are garbage, but mine will start with no choice of microphone at all, because you have to analyze the room you're in before you can even decide on what type of microphone to buy. So this is going to be really helpful.
Too late. I bought a Blue Yeti. Too late. I saw people using Blue Yetis, and Blue Yeti it's got to be the thing, isn't it?
Blue Yeti is the Tesla of microphones, man.
And tonight's sponsor, I'd like to say thank you to tonight's sponsor is Hello Fresh.
Yeah. For an example, just recently, Professor Gerdes Explained switched from a Blue Yeti mic to one of these proper Shure microphones, and you can hear the difference. Just go watch one of his videos from last year and then watch his newest video, and you'll hear it.
Oh God, do I have to?
I hate those goddamn things. Oh man,
it's not the fact that it's a bad microphone. It's not a great microphone. It's the fact that people just automatically just like go, well, that's the one. That's the microphone for me.
It became a de facto standard for podcasting, as if somehow it's a podcaster mic. Well, guess what? An FM radio mic, a studio mic is also a podcaster mic. And the Blue Yeti, okay, yeah, it had some cool features and functions, and for some people it sounds okay, but for the most part, all the microphones we grew up with in the studio and whatnot are better, same price, sometimes even better.
The thing is, the thing about the Blue Yeti is a bit like Manscaped. It's like, that's got to be the only thing for shaving your bollocks, because that's all you see. No, because that's all you see. That's all you hear about. And if you're looking into like videos on our podcast, and all these people are just, the Blue Yeti. No, it's because it's what you got. It's not because you tested other microphones. It's the one you bought. So I'll do a video about how great the Blue Yeti is. Now it's a self-fulfilling kind of advertising thing.
Yeah, very much so. And Blue Yeti were really smart by getting in and giving mics to channels that didn't even have huge subs and stuff as review units that they could keep and use and stuff. And again, when used properly, like some people put the Blue Yeti in its close mode, like the way I'm using the mic now, but then they put it 6 feet away from them, and it sounds like they're talking into the webcam microphone of a laptop from 2007, right? When used properly, it doesn't actually suck. It's just that you can get a lot more bang for your buck at equal money.
Funny thing is, what you're talking about here about, Blue Yeti getting into the hands of YouTubers. You see that a lot, and depending on which community you're in. Say, for instance, the guitar community, which I was, following in. All of a sudden, there'll be a whole bunch of people reviewing an amp for some reason. Oh, this amp is great.
Exactly.
Because they've all been sent around, and you'd have one person, actually buy an amp and review it and say it's shit. you know.
Yeah.
But it's either amps or particular brands of guitars. That happened a lot. You know,
Oh,
with tone
yeah.
guitars. You know, everybody was reviewing these like cheap Chinese built guitars, but going through like a German company, and you know, everybody was doing that. But you see that in all kinds of different communities of video channels, where, you know, whatever it is, there'll be a certain item that does the entire round of the entire community.
Exactly.
Where people are testing shit out.
Yeah. And
it's so funny when you see it.
Yeah. And it does the same with the sponsors. Like there was that Better Health, and then they got called out for being really bad. And then they did a second round, and they had some of their influencer people going, "Oh, no, that's not true. They are really helpful." And they doubled down instead of backing out, right? But, you know, yeah.
And where you saw, I think you saw it in the car restoration community as well. There was certain things that kept reappearing throughout.
Just recently, there's this plug-in diagnostic tool called Carly, and everybody who fixes cars advertised Carly for a bit, and it's just a god-awful little box from hell with a subscription service and blah blah. You know.
Yeah. Of which there are probably multiple variations for other companies. It just so happened to be that's the one that was being, you know, slung around the community.
Yeah, they got a little bit of venture capital funding. They went right to YouTube and got everybody to sponsor them. And in a year, if they're not successful, they'll fold and go, and your box will be useless because it was a subscription model. And as such, the data to really use it properly isn't in it. It's in the cloud, right? So it's one of those devices. Whereas if you go and buy the tools to fix an old Mercedes from the 90s or 2000s or whatever, you buy that computer, well, it just keeps working, right? I mean, you might have to service the board because the backup battery dies. There's a little corrosion, blah, blah. But anybody could service that if they know what they're doing. I mean, the fact that it's tied to the cloud, I wouldn't even touch it. Throw it in the garbage. Useless.
Damn it. Does that mean my set of subscription service spanners are going to be useless?
Yeah, exactly. Because as soon as you don't pay the subscription, they're going to change in form, and they will only,
just round.
Turn around. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah. Drive you crazy, right? You know? I got to find a deal at one of the pizza shops here. Somebody in the chat said, get them pizza. And I thought, yeah, that's not bad. You know? Yeah. Good idea.
Fail safe.
Yeah. I hate having to make decisions. I'm not very good at this.
Get a round one.
Yeah. Well, they do have square ones, actually. So it's just.
Well, they got square box. They might as well put square ones in it.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. Where is it? There we go. And where is it? We'll get them that one too. All right.
This is exciting. Edge of the seat stuff. This is.
Yeah. Okay. Hot wings.
I hope someone's going to make a clip of this.
Yeah, he likes a good blue cheese dip. We'll get one of those. There we go.
I got a cream for that to make it better, but. Yeah. So is Matt here tonight? Yeah, he should be clipping this and putting it on his channel.
He probably will. The great pizza order. Pizza. Yeah. Oh man. Okay, hold on a second here.
Now we did this before, and we because your pizza delivery has like a tracking thing, and you were going to bring the tracking up on screen. So we could actually watch the pizza.
Oh yeah. Here, I just gotta log into my security stuff
just to bring on this thrilling ride to everybody else in the channel.
But if I do that, somebody could easily match up the location. I think we'll skip that. This is probably a dumb idea.
Bit doxy.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's got all kinds of like my real information and stuff up. Yeah, we're not gonna do that.
I'll send it to my house.
Yeah,
Send it to my house and put that up. I don't care.
yeah. Okay, so
it might take a while.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna send it across the pond.
Yeah. Stay up, everybody. It's gonna be a long stream.
Yeah.
I bet it's cold when it turns up.
Yeah, well, it'd be funny too if you're like, wait a minute, I wanted anchovies. Okay, send it back.
Yeah. If it's not here in 15 minutes, you get it for free. Hey!
Imagine that. You need some superhero like action going on. The Flash would show up, and your entire pizza would just be glued to one side of the box.
Would I have to tip him and everything? Bloody superheroes! They shouldn't work for tips.
That's true. That's true.
You never see anyone slipping Superman like $10. Thanks for saving my kid. Yeah,
I did when he got the cat out of the tree. Isn't that what you're supposed to do?
You go get some beers.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mom.
Yeah. Here's a tip. Oh no, that's the green one. You don't want that one. Here's a regular one. Yeah.
Right. I mean, no one tips Batman, but no one knows that he's a multi-billionaire.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah. And he couldn't say, "I don't need your money. I'm rich." Right?
Why doesn't Elon Musk do that instead? Why doesn't he turn his billions into? He could become like Batman.
Elon would get beaten up by the kid that's wanting the cat out of the tree.
Get beaten up by the cat.
Yeah. Little 6-year-old Sally kicks his ass. Get up there, you lazy fucking.
You know what? I think the tree could have him. Yeah, but look at it. I mean, he's such an athlete. You've seen him jumping around the stage. Can you imagine that in a Batman outfit?
Yeah.
I mean, with his little belly coming out the bottom of his outfit.
With the weight of the Batman outfit, if he jumped, I don't think his feet would actually leave the ground. Because I mean, as it is, I don't think he gets more than about 2 inches of air.
I get to see him jumping up and down his little fat little belly roll, just like sticking out the bottom of his Batman outfit. Where his furry little buttonhole.
He'd be one of those fat guy Batmans at the Comic-Con, that they're like pudgy Batman,
Oh, that is so. That is so funny because we went to one of these things, and the line that Princess Leia says when Luke turns up. We had these stormtroopers walking behind us, and I turned to my daughter and said, "Isn't he a little fat to be a stormtrooper?" it was literally like a guy from Family Guy. This huge fat stormtrooper. But where the fuck do you get your armor from to do that? And they had all these
in tall shops.
and of course, the funny thing is about these places. It's like, you'll have someone turn up as Boba Fett and you think, oh, I'm going to be the only person turn up as Boba Fett. No, 20 of them, and they're all fat.
I was going to say half of them are girls, right?
No. Well, there, you do have that as well. But now the Mandalorian's out. Everyone can freestyle their Mandalorian outfit to whatever they like. So no one turns up looking the same. But yeah, honest to God. But when we went to it, you had all these like people dressed as Boba Fett, and they all looked exactly the same, just different various sizes. Yeah.
Well, they probably all ordered the same $300 custom-made costume from the same eBayer, right? Right? Oh yeah.
So funny.
Oh, my order's in the oven, it says. There we go. All right. I hope it's the right one.
And you get someone dressed up as Darth Vader. Unfortunately, they're only 5'10". It's like,
yeah. Ooh, is that Rick Moranis under that helmet? I can't breathe in this thing.
It's so funny. They all getting so into it though as well. Oh,
yeah.
Kind of sad, really. Because what I don't understand, I don't get it.
I don't know about that. I mean,
Well, back in the day when Star Wars came out and Empire came out and Jedi came, I was the sad kid. I was the sad, big fan. No one else was a fan.
Swinging your sword.
Yeah, but the thing is, it makes me look like, just a casual viewer of Star Wars now. Compared to the fandom that is now, they're just insanity.
Oh yeah. There's Fat Man.
My name is Elon.
Elon Schmuck. I am the Fat Man.
He wouldn't be Batman, would he? He'd be like, I'm the magic worm.
Yeah, Schmuck Man. Yeah.
I'm in disguise. I'm Tesla Man. Oh, you mean the guy who runs Tesla, Elon Musk? No, I'm in disguise. Bad choice of name. Yeah, never mind.
If Elon Musk was going to pick some creature alive on the planet to be his persona, to be a superhero, I'm thinking it would be something like an aardvark.
The maggot.
Yeah. No matter how many times you step on him, his corpse crawls away.
The anteater.
Yeah. He jumps like a sloth, Mike 71, that's for sure.
Yeah.
His ability to get off the ground is astoundingly bad.
Well, considering he came with SpaceX, it's kind of ironic, really.
Yeah.
He should have rocket shoes.
Oh yeah. Yeah, like the Greek guy, with the little wings on the shoes,
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Mercury.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's the Roman one, but the Greek version of
that. Yeah,
Eros?
Eros? I get them so confused between the two.
Yeah. Romans, Greeks. It's all Greek to me.
I don't know. I never studied Latin. So what else is going on? Let me check the thingy. Okay, it's still in the oven. It's not out for delivery yet. We got to pay attention to that. My doorbell will ring. I'll have to go and put my metal gloves on and serve them.
Don't you have like a pizza slot already? Like, just like you just punch it through the slot.
Yeah. No, what I do is I just find one of the neighborhood kids that annoy me, and I'm like, here, do you want to take this up to him? 2 birds, 1 stone, right? What time? Oh yeah, that's right.
2 birds, 1 stone. I've seen that video.
Yeah. What a weird saying for us to still use. Why are we all killing birds just to prove a point?
Yeah, with 1 stone.
Yeah, exactly.
What did the birds do?
He's having a go at the birds. Had to be. Oh yeah. You know what? I should look up what time that place closes tonight. Because it would just be my luck that they're not quite in the summer hours where things are late yet. Yeah, they're not. So I go to get them tomorrow. Okay. Why did their computer do that? What the fuck?
Yeah.
I bet they were there like yesterday and the stupid thing only just bothered telling me today.
Yeah, that's probably more likely.
Yeah.
When you finally get that text message that someone sent to you 2 days ago.
Yeah, exactly. How
does that happen? Why does that happen? I never understood that. You suddenly get a text message.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was from yesterday. How?
Yeah,
did
exactly.
he get lost? Did he get lost somewhere in the cloud?
I know. I don't get that.
Did it go to a satellite sent around the sun and then back again? What happened there?
Yeah. You know what? I'm looking it up here, dude. It turns out that Sunday isn't a day they operate at all.
Right.
So how did I get a text message today that they showed up? There's no way. It was yesterday. Morons.
I think what's happened here is obvious. Someone has broken into the place, broken into Specsavers. They've found some glasses, in their letterbox. They've taken them out. Notice your name. They've logged into the system. They've sent a message while they're emptying the safe. They've sent you a personal message in their system saying that your glasses are now available, and now they're shoving them up their arsehole.
Well, at least they'll be polished. So,
What kind of polish do you use?
Yeah, well,
smells a bit funny.
Yeah, I don't usually do it that way, but
Use Fisted.
Exactly.
That's the only polish to use.
Yeah, I think originally it was polish.
Ooh.
Yeah, so it's out for delivery now. So any minute I'll get interrupted. The shop I ordered from isn't that far away, so here we go. Yeah.
Ontario.
Canada's pretty wide. I mean, you could order pizza in Canada and it could take days to get to you if you really wanted to be stupid about it.
Well, I mean, I've sent you stuff through the post. That's bad enough.
Probably gets here quicker from you than it does from like Nova Scotia.
Yeah, they should have a like a postals like delivery station like in the north of Canada, as opposed to like the east coast or the west coast, because it takes too long to get. Yeah, it's a lot quicker to get it down from the top than it is from the sides.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, if I was going to invade Canada, which I'm not, but that's how I would do it.
Oh, I see.
I'm not giving any hints to Donald Trump.
Wouldn't that be funny? All these boats and whatnot just head for the Arctic. No, we're just going fishing. Yeah. Yeah, just
I had a dream the other day that Trump was starting to get because this is the funny thing. Mr. Peace, Mr. All what is he? What has he been bombing? What is it? Lebanon? He's been bombing Lebanon. He's all about peace and there's we don't do war. He's planning an invasion of Panama. He's gone. He's gone to the Pentagon for war plans with China. Oh, Mr. Peace. Nobody has a war with me. I'm the best.
Yeah.
What the fuck is he on about? He's put the entire world into a war footing. The fucking lying bastard.
And you know what he'll say?
I had this. But
they'll take Panama by force, and then he'll say, "See, you should have made the deal."
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
It'll have Putin to set up the peace treaty with them.
What will happen?
I had this dream that the entire American naval fleet defected to the UK, like Ramius did in Hunt for Red October.
One ping only.
One ping only. But the entire naval fleet just go right, fuck off.
Yeah,
we're going.
Exactly. Yeah. It'd be funny too because one or two planes would take off and try to make it back. No, I'm staying. Yeah.
Yeah. They'd have to put all the the Trump loyalists into the brig, or down into the depth of the ship somewhere, lock them up.
But here's a for real question for everybody in the chat too. So, what does NATO, the EU, and all the different collective groups do if America actually does a forceful, we're going to take over the Panama Canal? What does the world do in reaction?
I don't know. I mean, who's in control of Panama? I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's not a NATO country, is it? No. So it won't be invoking Article 5. I don't know.
Um,
I mean, he claims the Chinese are in charge of Panama. But I'm sure that's not entirely true.
no, they just have some influence at a port or two, right? It's just
yeah. It's their own sovereign. It's their own sovereign nation, isn't it?
Mhm.
I don't know.
Panama was kind of became a nation due to America's desire for the canal. They supported the whole thing, and because Panama was originally somebody else's territory, and they broke away and became their own thing. And America supported that whole thing just to get the canal done.
Yeah, we had the same thing with the Manchester Ship Canal in the UK.
Yeah. I know. But
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure they'd be pretty pissed at it. NATO.
Yeah.
Or should I say, well, we wouldn't be NATO, would it? It would be the UK or the European. What do they call them? The willingness.
The coalition of the willing or something.
Yeah, that sounds like a prelude to a Star Wars film.
It sounds like people willing to put their keys in the bowl.
It could be worse. It could be the bowl of horny.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not putting my keys in that bowl because Finland keeps sticking their fingers at my ass. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. You got to ask before you go full fetish, Finland.
Yeah, go with the Swedes. They're dirty bastards.
Yeah. What was that in the what's it called? The Kingsman, that movie.
Oh, right.
The girl from Sweden, you want to do me in the asshole? Jesus Christ.
Oh, I know. That is such a dumb scene. Why did they have to go there?
Why did they put that in there? I know, that was so dumb. Oh, here we go. Hold on.
It's like it had a bit of class. All right, you bugger off. It's like the film had a little bit of class because it was kind of cool, and then they go and put something like that in it. It's just like, okay, you got no class anymore. It's just gone. I mean, why don't you just put that in a fucking Bond film? Because that's what they were trying to pretend. They were trying to be some kind of like new version of a Bond film, but nah, just no class whatsoever. Oh well. It's probably what we've got to look forward to with Bond now being part of Netflix. Yeah, because Netflix get to make the creative decisions now. So yeah, was it Netflix or Amazon? Did Amazon get it? Oh, it was Amazon. Wasn't it Amazon? Someone correct me. I can't remember which one it was. It was Amazon, wasn't it? Yeah, makes you go. Thank you. Yeah, that's good. That's the end of the franchise. A beloved franchise that's been around since the 60s, and yeah, just like all the others, we just turn to mush. Although, having said that, excuse me while I belch. Really, 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 really looking forward to the season 2 of Andor coming out soon. Which is the Star Wars prequel to the Star Wars prequel. Because obviously you had Star Wars, and you had what was the other one called? The Star Wars story. Plan 9 from Outer Space, or whatever it's called. But you saw the bit before they go into Star Wars and all. Now there's a series called Andor, which is a prequel to that happening, and you had the first season, and now the second season is running up into Rogue One now, and yeah, look kind of cool, kind of gets me giddy, gets that little Star Wars kid in me. So because I've been just so unimpressed with the rest of it, this one looks good. Kind of looking forward to it. Mexico and Andor season 1 is on the Plex server, I believe. Yeah, it is there. It's damn good. It's pretty good. But I think season 2 is going to be real real proper good stuff. We shall see. I think Dick's been eaten by Felix. He's leaned too far into the door. He's been taken in. It's son of a Jedi. Yeah, that's one good thing about Andor. It hasn't gone all Jedi. Because what kind of pisses me off about Star Wars is it's like everybody has to be like a Jedi or a Sith, because that's the be all end all of Star Wars. It was never meant to be like that. It was much wider range, but they just kind of like stick with the what they know. There's very little invention goes on, because the great thing about Star Wars, when it first came out, we saw things like the X-wings, the Y-wings, TIE fighters. Never seen anything like that before. Millennium Falcon. Then Empire Strikes Back comes out, and we start seeing new ships and new, the walkers, the snow speeders. The Jedi comes out. Oh, we get the speeder bikes. We get all these things. Now, what everyone has done since then is just basically go onto the bank of what's in Star Wars canon. Hey, we just reuse that, and not think of anything new. Not bother.
What I find is, if you're one of those people that really pay attention behind the scenes and stuff, you get some of the new things that are brought out in the new movies, and they're just the ones that rejected from the last ones.
Yeah. When they sort of they did that in Rogue One, where they had like a transport vehicle, which was an original design by Joe Johnston for the Walker.
Yeah.
Well, it wasn't a Walker because it was on wheels, but yeah, they just kind of like go back. Oh, what designs did we nearly have? Yeah, we just use that. It just seems so.
Well, it's such lazy. A lack of effort and no imagination being used. It's just, we need something quick. We're only it'll sell. It's Star Wars. We just need something that can be made into a toy.
Yeah.
But you go to the first movie.
Variation.
But you go to the first movie, and the people that were making the ships and stuff really thought about things like the whole pod for Han Solo's Millennium Falcon and whatnot. There was actual thought in that,
That was great in that ILM series.
That's where I got that. Yeah.
Because that's actually stuff I've never actually heard about the Millennium Falcon story.
And it's right from the horse's mouth, good. Right? Yeah.
Yeah. Because you always kind of like wondered about the design process and some of these things, because they just seem to like to go from version A, which is bollocks, wrong, and then suddenly finished product, and it's fantastic,
it's brilliant. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You miss out all the little nitty gritty bits in between.
Yeah,
about how it got there.
Yeah. What's that series called? Light and Magic?
I think so.
Yeah, it's a 3-part series. We have it on our Plex server, and oh my god, it's so good. If you're into, you don't have to be even a Star Wars fan.
It can't be a 3-part series, because I think I'm on episode 4.
Okay, well, whatever it is, but it's not like something that goes on for 6 seasons or anything, right?
No.
But you don't even have to be a huge Star Wars fan. It's behind the scenes about building the ships, the technology, making, the rigs. It's really cool.
Yeah, I am so fucking jealous. Because that's the shit that inspired me to get into, film and visual effects, what they're doing. And God, I just want to time travel and just go back and be part of that team back then.
You started in practical visual effects, but unfortunately, it's all on a computer now, right? Well,
yeah. Well, I mean, I ended up working on a computer in post-production because fucking shitload more money in it. I tell you that much for a start. But I've done the stuff where you built models and pulled things around. I think one of the first things I did was we had like a rubber whale that was about foot long, and I rigged it up with wires and everything so we could animate it swimming through the ocean.
Cool.
And it was literally just like loads of wires and spanners and counterweights and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was that kind of thing that you see in that ILM documentary. Just like, how are we going to do this? We just get all ghetto and just make shit up as we go along.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. There's another one that's on YouTube. It's a good hour-long documentary, but it's all about Edit Droid, the first digital sort of editing suite thing that Lucas designed and built. And that didn't actually last that long.
What? No. Again, well, this is what we were talking about the other day, where we were talking about hard drives and shit.
Yeah.
Companies that spend like $500,000 on a hard drive that's 1 terabyte, and in a couple of years it's just in the skip, because it's
especially during the 90s and 2000s, you'd spend a fortune on something cutting edge, and a year later people were laughing at it, right?
Yeah, because the Edit Droid. Well, they had the whole Pixar thing, the computer that they developed for just digital manipulation of stuff.
Yeah, and they came out with their own software, Render Man, right?
Yeah. And then you got John Knoll says, "Well, can we just not put that on a MacBook?"
Yeah,
on a Macintosh Mac too, and he invents Photoshop.
Yeah. And you remember the days of like the Silicon Graphics workstations and all of these, and nowadays people just use a good computer, right? It's completely different, right? Oh yeah.
Well, those Silicon Graphics machines were all like, they were literally like a graphics card on a motherboard. Basically, it was all about the graphics. And then that's what you get on graphics cards these days. They'll just like blitz it.
Yeah. But that was like getting a modern-ish graphics card back then, right? That's why they were like $40,000. Holy man! Wow.
The thing is, you have the Amiga as well. I mean, the Amiga was being used commercially as a
toaster.
Rendering machine. They used it on Babylon 5, which is absolutely awesome. The graphics don't hold up today, but I don't care. It's great stories. But the funny thing about the Amigas is they ended up like just coming up with graphics cards and boards, to things for to build up the video editing systems, and But like you said, you're talking about like Edit Droid. That
it was such a brick wall in its future, right? Laser disc and everything, right? In its day it was amazing, but it was eclipsed quickly, and he must have been like, well, I don't think we'll be investing like that in the future again, right? Because that must have been a loser, man.
He didn't seem to care. That was it kind of like, this is kind of like going back to talking about Elon Musk. Lucas was insanely rich.
Oh God,
insanely rich.
Yeah, the terms he made for the first movie set him up. That was it, right?
Yeah, exactly. And so when Empire came along, he could do it his way because he was putting the bill. He didn't have to answer anybody.
Yeah, can you imagine that, man? Holy God, that's cash. That's cash.
Yeah,
right.
And that's what he did at ILM. It's just like it just didn't seem to care. He must have run it as a proper business, but at the end of the day, he must have been just pumping money into it.
It sounds to me, by watching those documentaries, that the first year of ILM, he was so busy he left them to do their thing, and then it got to the point where he was like, "Seriously, guys, we don't even have a shot done yet," and he started getting back.
Yeah, when he came back from filming in the UK, and they go, "What we got? Oh, we got these 2 shots.
Yeah,
one of a laser turret, and one of the
space pod. Yeah,
which were fantastic.
Oh yeah,
don't get me wrong. But it's like, we got to do a whole fucking space battle now.
Yeah,
how are we going to do it?
But all the technology they invented to do that movie, once it was truly working, it all came together. I mean, the results speak for themselves, right? I mean, to this day, I would still rather see a movie filmed like Star Wars with real miniatures and stuff than 3D effects for the most part.
because they get 3D effects wrong so many times.
Well, dude, I just watched the new Captain America movie. I'm not going to give you any spoilers or anything, but there was a few scenes where I'm like, you could tell by the way. Yeah. Well, okay, here's the plot.
Yeah.
So anyway, so there was this one scene where you could tell that not only was most things CGI, but the main characters on screen weren't themselves either. They were CGI. You could tell by the odd weird movement and stuff, you know? And as soon as I see that, I get left in that moment where I'm like, I mean, I might as well just be watching a cartoon. You know, it's just not working for me anymore. I think that's why I really enjoyed The Mandalorian, because even though everything is the environment or whatever they call that damn thing, you know, at least he's really there for the most part. And it's not just, you know, computer jumping around and, you know, like I think I'm just totally jaded and kind of over it.
No, it just sticks out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
I mean, interesting enough, I came across a video last night of someone doing like a Star Trek kind of you know when people do like these videos. I was a space battle, and it's just them doing their little visual effects tests of their renders from Blender or whatever, and they just like cut it together into something. But what this guy had done, he was using actual models and shooting them. The motion control rig that he built himself, and putting them together in a sequence. And obviously there was these kind of things that were like a bit shitty because can't get the focus because his models weren't big enough. They were probably just like the ones you could just buy off the shelf. But just to get there,
exactly.
It was like I had to applaud him. And I made a comment. I left a comment saying, "Yeah, it's fantastic." So now go build a fucking optical printer and do it properly. Because he's just like pulling it in from his DSLR and then just into a digital suite, and he can key it out. Yeah. Now do it like the boys used to do it with an optical printer. How the fuck they managed to do that is
wow, right?
Mind numbing.
Yeah, love that stuff. Love it. I wish we'd get back to that, but the movies
we won't. It's just well, you're not going to get it.
The movies would have
no
to
matter
be,
how much you want.
They'd have to be made in China so that we have the cheap labor, right? It's just
well, not me.
Yeah.
You know what's really funny is I'm working on this project, and I would tell you what it is if I could remember the name of the director, because I could always get it wrong. It doesn't matter. But the interesting thing is they've shot it on film. You remember that stuff?
Yeah.
So that flippy floppy stuff you put through a camera.
Wow. Where did they even find it in the modern day? I didn't,
I don't know.
Did they have to make it out of used condoms or something?
So for the first time in about 15 years, I have to go through the frames and do a thing called dust busting, where because the film runs through a scanner, you get bits of dust and things that make the film sparkle.
So you go frame by frame?
Frame by frame, just cleaning out the bits of dust and stuff like that, and scratches, and sometimes there's like huge fucking blobs and stuff like that.
That's like watching a movie really slowly.
But it's like I haven't had to do that for nearly 15 years. Because everybody's using digital stuff. And then the funny thing is you get the digital stuff, and then it has artifacts on it, or have errors, or there's like dead pixels.
Yeah.
And you have to paint out the dead pixels and stuff. It's like what we've moved. We haven't moved forward.
Exactly. You
just changed the environment of the problem.
We've kept the cost up by introducing new technology all the time, but we haven't, nothing is easier or, some idiot brings his kid onto set, the laser pointer. Oh God. Okay. There's 3 dead cameras. Oh, they'll fix it in post,
Some of the weird artifacts I've seen in the digital posts is bonkers. Yeah. Funny that,
Yeah.
you know. Back
I'm
to
pretty sure
2020.
she doesn't have square tits. I better fix that.
Well, I better, check physically.
Yeah. We don't use body doubles. We use body correction. That's dunk. Lifting bums.
Not Sherlock Holmes says, "Don't. Would you rather Wallace and Gromit? Well, what plasticine? Although I don't think they use plasticine anymore. It's probably all like resin molds and digital effects and yeah.
They use those little toys where you scan the code with your iPhone and it does the animation for you.
That's the thing about modern animation these days. Just like straightforward animation. You can't just do straightforward animation anymore because there are so many digital, what do you call just little bits and tweaks and things that you can use digitally to make it look better. There's not a lot of straightforward animation, and they call it animation, but it's awesome. It looks great, but at the same time, there's a lot of digital shit going on in the background.
Oh yeah. I love it when some of these new movies, we've done this one before, but they'll say, "Oh yeah, there's no digital graphics in this." I mean, somebody like Dunk has fixed all kinds of errors and people with watches on a period piece and blah blah and whatnot. But yeah, there's no effects, right?
Yeah, it's funny to you watch the credits at the end of the movie.
Yeah.
There's no digital effects, and just
7 minutes to go through the animators and the visual effects artists, and
I was saying to Kelly the other day, I was watching this old film, some from the 50s, the UK British film. It was bloody hilarious. It was actually really, really funny. It was a good film from the 50s, and I was really kind of surprised at that because there's usually something about them that are a bit, it's of its time. But this film was quite funny. But when the film finished, it just comes up, like they do back then, the end.
Yeah.
And it's like there's no Finn. There's no 17 minutes of a fucking credit roll.
Yeah, exactly.
And then a post-credit sequence with them all eating shawarma.
Yeah. You go back to TV from the 70s, and there will be one producer, one executive producer. Watch a modern show, and the entire intro credits are executive producers and the star.
Well, I have explained the executive producer thing to you before, but it is hilarious just how many. I mean, really,
three of them died 4 years ago, but they're still on the,
Even the funny thing is about credits. I mean, we come back to Star Wars actually, because that Star Wars, when Star Wars came out, people were pissed off it didn't have an opening.
There was like vicious union fight battles over that one. Yeah.
Where's my fucking name? But the thing is, what's funny about it is, if in credits these days, there's loads of films I've worked on, I don't get credit. My name's not even on it.
Right.
And I'm not that kind of person who says, "Well, I want a credit," because there are people like that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There are people like that,
and they don't get as much work as you do. I bet, do they?
Well, I don't know about that. But the funny thing is like, I don't really mind. I don't mind. Why do we need 17, 20 minutes of credits at the end of the film?
Yeah.
Why?
And who is sitting there reading it so that they go, "Oh, Dunk is in there. I didn't know." Seriously,
the person reading the credits is the one who's worked on it.
Yeah. Well, aside from my son, if you try to kill the credits at the end of the movie before they have played out entirely, good luck, because your ass is worth about 3/4 of Jack. Man. Oh man, he'll get mad.
Now, this is one thing about the end credit sequence I do love, especially for the films like Star Wars, because they have such a great musical overture.
Yeah,
playing through it.
Yeah, when you got Williams, man. Yeah,
I mean, I gotta say, I absolutely adore that. I love that about an end credit sequence. But
Yeah, but when
the
they play
names,
you, when they play you some Rihanna song, you're like, "Ah, for fuck's sakes," you
oh
know,
yeah.
you know, God, you know. But
Yeah.
when there's like somebody like Williams or somebody doing a real soundtrack, yeah, sure, man, you know, absolutely.
Or just buy the soundtrack and just not put it up on the screen. I mean,
Yeah,
there is literally no need for it. I think going from to the end of the film and just going the end and fin probably is a bit too fast.
yeah.
Just need a little bit of a calm down, something just to bring you out of the moment. But
Yeah,
it's not like the end now. Fuck off.
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Think how much more times they could run the movie in the theaters if they
Yeah.
got rid of that. They could run an extra. They could run one more movie in the day.
Yeah. Hey, when you add up the credits of a matinee and a couple of evening showings and stuff, you're not wrong. You know, it's a complete waste of everybody's life.
Especially if they get rid of the fucking adverts at the beginning.
Oh man, I hate that kind of stuff. Oh man, it's getting to the point of stupidity now. You go to the movie theater and you got to sit through 20 minutes of garbage before they even start getting to the point.
Yeah, and the thing is, you've already been to the concession stand. You bought you bought you got out a
$30 fucking tub of
yeah,
popcorn, right? You
yeah.
know?
You got out a mortgage to buy to buy the stuff. Some
Yeah.
hot dogs at $20 each.
Yeah.
And then you get into the movie and they start playing the adverts. And what they do, they advertise the food that's in the foyer.
I know,
I've just come from the fucking foyer. I'm not going back out there again.
I can't hold anymore, you assholes. You know, like, you know.
Did you hear about the guy in India who sued a cinema for playing too many adverts? Because
Wow.
the movie was supposed to start at some point, but they ran too many adverts, and so it started like 20 minutes later. And now he was supposed to have meetings and stuff afterwards, but he had to postpone them because the movie hadn't finished, and he actually sued.
I hope he wins, because if they say, appearing tonight at 7:10 p.m. is Star Wars, well, you show up, get seated because you think it's going to start at 7, and you figure you're done by 9 and out of there and back to your life. I mean, it makes sense. Yeah. I don't know about suing, but
Well, the thing is, if you watch something on the television, right?
Yeah.
There's a film coming on at 8. The film starts at 8. Now there are adverts, but they're usually in that gap between the last show and the thing you're about to watch. You go, so if you're watching the film at 8, you go to a movie theater. Yeah, let's say the film's going to start at 8. I'm going to watch 30 minutes of adverts, and then the movie starts.
Exactly. Yeah.
Oh, after the trailers, of course.
Oh man, it's so bad. Oh,
I'm sure I remember the days when you just go in and there'd be like a couple of adverts, then trailers, and then the movie.
I
just constant,
I remember going to the theater in the 70s as a kid, and I don't really remember adverts in the beginning except for like one little 20-second thing, and then you would instantly into the movie. I remember seeing something on the internet once or twice where they would have all the ads in black and white in the early days of cinema before the movie and whatnot, and I remember thinking to myself, wow, I'm glad we got away from that. But now it's worse.
I didn't think you were that old.
Yeah. But we cycled around, right? I mean, in this day and age, anywhere somebody can stuff an ad, they're gonna. You buy a new smart TV, it's actually just a panel of advertising until you pick something, right? It's a joke these days.
It's like you open up a web page and there's a pop-up.
Yeah, well, oh man,
anything you do is an advert.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's really bad. It's really bad. A couple of car companies are testing putting ads on the screens in the cars when you're like stopped at a stoplight or when they sense the car isn't moving. Like, seriously, if I bought a car for like a modern electric car for like 75,000 Canadian dollars or whatever, and somebody put an advertisement on the screen, I would drive it through their fucking front door and deliver it back to them in a very violent manner. I would lose my shit.
I can't stand it when you get those hookers and just in the middle of intercourse, they come up, well, now for our sponsors, Hello Fresh and Raycon. It's like, what, now?
I thought you were going to say that, you know, while you're in one position, they advertise the other ones that they're willing to offer for a fee.
On their ass.
Yeah. If you need, I supply the peanuts.
You just, you know, it's true though. You just can't get away anywhere without fucking advertising.
A grunge thing in the thing says, "Hey, get a better browser or a greater OS for your smart TV." Oh, I don't use my smart TV. I use an NVIDIA Shield Android TV box because it's really good for retro gaming and stuff. I always advise people never to use the smart TV features in the smart TV because they are tracking and whatnot everything you do and selling it in a really, really nasty way. And as far as I could figure out by looking into it, the NVIDIA Shield is probably the most user-friendly of the devices. It's not the cheapest, but holy fuck, does it work. It's essentially a Nintendo Switch without a screen so that you plug it into your TV and use it as an Android box, right? It's really good, really good.
I mean, my smart TV is watching me so much. It's set up my own. It's owned my OnlyFans in my account. It just images of me wanking off. It's
yeah, you can find them on OnlyFans. It's the 2-knuckle shuffle.
It's making more money than I am.
I just got a couple of beeps about new people following the Instagram account for the Shills. Thank you, everybody. I just got over a period where anxieties were hitting me really bad. Had to go and get my prescription filled again. And hopefully in the next day or two, I open Instagram again and try again. But we'll probably get somebody from the team to start running the Instagram account because then, like with Shayna on Blue Sky, it will get done properly. So we'll get there. We'll get there.
We'll get grown up on it. Don't worry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Somebody without so much of a taste for solidarity and alcohol.
That's a movie title.
Yeah, I think Oasis sang the theme song already.
Yeah, what do they sing? Wonder Bra or something? I can't remember.
Yeah, yeah. You're my wonder bra.
Yes. Flail me with a spoon and let me try on all your bras. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Let me see the height of your tits on Jupiter and Mars. You know, there's a different gravity.
In some Swedish gay bars.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Yeah.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with a gay bar.
You know, no, but in Sweden, they really don't like speeding. So does that mean if you're like in a bar hitting on somebody in Sweden, you got to do it slow? You can't go quick?
Well, just as long as you haven't got a Kalashnikov on your
yeah.
Hey, talk about advertising. Yeah, we should shell out the merch store. We haven't done that for a while.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
This people about the glorious put on there now.
This stupid channel won't let me tag products to the merch store because it hates me. No, because we're not monetized yet.
You can go to the website.
Yeah, let me get the link up because we can see. How do I get a shareable link to people? Wait a minute.
Shills.org.
I'm,
Shills.org.
wait, no wonder it's not working. I'm not even logged in. Stupid thing. Okay, hold on. Sorry, everybody. I'm really good at narrating my bullshit.
Log me in until you go. Don't leave me looking like a fucking yo-yo.
What? What is going on? Fucking stupid stooges, man.
You logged into Nick Suter's merch store.
Yeah, probably. That's why everything is brown.
Underpants with a nice stripe on the back of it. Yeah.
I'm trying to sign into this stupid thing and it keeps jerking me around. Okay, here we go. Here we go. I finally made it work. All right. So here is a link to our merch store. We have like a cool patch and some mugs and water bottles. We got the round Shills green logo, the earth, you know. We got that done embroidered on the shirts as well as like the Shills name.
Embroidered, yes.
Yeah. It's really cool. There's some great stuff on this merch store. It's really nice. Yeah. We have to finish building it out. Yeah. We definitely have to finish building it out. All we've done is the Shills name and the logo as a thing. We don't have any of the comic stuff like the goat or anything yet. Put in the live chat if you got any ideas for things we should put in the merch store because, well,
just go back and watch some of the old pub chats. Yeah. We came up with loads of ideas and we forgot about them.
Yeah, we drink during this show, so you got to remind us the next day, right? We don't know.
We were going to do one that was just a QR code.
Oh yeah. Take it to Dunk's OnlyFans.
yeah. Run by my smart TV bastard.
You've made LG a lot of money.
Duncan Stewart in the chat says Mars has 2 moons. Name them for Social Security. It was Phineas and Ferb, isn't
it? Not quite. I know them. I like astronomy though, so yeah. Although if you're into Unreal Tournament 1999, the original version of the game, you know one of the names, right? Because I think they start one of the missions on Phobos in the beginning of the game. I'm not sure though. Oh, I wanted to talk about this. Any gamers in the chat? There's this thing going on right now. It's been going on for the last couple of years. God damn it. I hate when you're trying to smoke something and it's not working out for you. There's this thing going on. It just happened with Half-Life 2, I think it was, whatever, was just released with an RTX version. So you get ray tracing, right? If you got one of those newer graphics cards. Now, you're paying for it. It's the same game it was before. All they've done is up the graphics to the modern era. But when you turn on ray tracing, you end up back at 40 to 50 frames per second, the way it was in 2004 or whatever when it was released in the beginning. I'm not sure I totally see the point. Like, I get that it looks better, but if it doesn't actually perform better, why? Yeah, you know? Yeah, you know? So I don't quite get that, you know? Yeah, I mean, to me, you know, it should be like $18 just to update the old code with the new textures and whatnot, but they're going to charge you like $50-$60 for it, I'm sure. And to me, that's just more of that lazy shit, you know, like they don't even try to design a ship. They just use an old one, you know, again, you know, it's even worse than like using the Ghostbusters name to slap it on some weird remake or something, you know, like the McCarthy movie, that mouth bitch. But in this case, it's the same damn thing, just with rose tinted goggles and a graphics update. That's just not worth the huge money. I'd rather just play the original. I don't need it to look better. It's a great game as it is, you know. But I can play Donkey Kong and have fun. So
yeah, I mean, the thing is, yeah, I mean, I don't know much about gaming, but yeah, there's a lot of new games that look absolutely stunning. Why would you go back to an old one?
Well, the Half-Life series, the both games, 1 and 2, are story-built, phenomenally awesome games. But
Right.
I would rather just pay $7 for somebody to update the code so it runs on a new system, not $50 or something because ray tracing, and everybody runs out to buy these expensive graphics cards and you still only get 50 frames per second or something, and that's with all that stupid frame gen bullshit on, right? Yeah, I don't know, man. You know, this seems like people double triple dipping into the hat and not doing a lot of effort for a damn good reward. I want more effort, man, you know. You know, can you imagine if Ford was still selling you the Ford Pinto just with a modern body style on it? Nobody would buy that shit. You know, same thing.
I mean, I'm a pretty old fashioned as far as gaming is concerned. I'm still working on a new version of Othello that's not so racist. Why is it all just like black and white?
Yeah,
bit more inclusion in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm putting out a new version and it's pink versus red.
Oh, communists. Yeah. Pink ghosts. Oh, man, I can't wait to get my new glasses tomorrow. This is going to be awesome. You know what happens is when we're live on the show, I pop the YouTube chat out into its own window so I can arrange my screens properly. And then I have to size it up really big so I can see it. And then when I close the chat window and bring YouTube up the next time, it's so gargantuan. It's comical. It's like one of those phones where the buttons were made for elderly people and each button was like 3 centimeters square. It's really funny. So it's applying it to your entire YouTube window once you resized it.
Yeah.
That's
even
funny.
though I've popped it out into its own window, YouTube goes, "Oh, but that's the chat from this window." So when I unminimize that window, because why would I have YouTube open when I don't need it, right? It's just extra rendering for no reason. I put it away. But when I open it, it's going to be just comically stupid large, right?
To see all those thumbnails and all that detail. Ooh.
Yeah. And if we ever do like a late night stream drinking, kind of like what we're doing now, and then we sign off.
Drinking.
Yeah, well, and never mind who's drinking whom. You know. But
never mind who killed who.
Yeah. But so what happens is I bugger off, do a bit of parenting after or something. Felix and I be hanging out, and then the end of the night, and then I wake up in the morning and I go to my computer and I open YouTube and I'm like, holy God, it's Scary Headman, you know, because everybody's this fucking big, right? Oh, yeah. KK in the chat, if your eyes are working like that, you're elderly people. Oh, man, I need like 4 pairs of glasses for the different scenarios in life because I'm so stuck in my ways as an older guy that the whole progressive lens thing isn't working. And I keep taking them back and going, just give me 1 prescription. But then you'll need another pair for this. Yes, I know that. You'll need another pair for that. Yes, I know that. You're going to be carrying a lot of glasses around. Yes, I know that. But it's just too much. I can't figure it out. My brain doesn't work to it.
You should see Dick if we switch off the filter to make him look young and gorgeous. There's a grey shriveled prune.
Yeah. I actually look older than he does, right? You know.
We're 900 years old. You each look as good you or not.
Yeah. It was really hard to get the filter to stop giving me nice tight breasts, but it did actually work.
I like that filter.
Yeah, it was just such a letdown when I actually went for them.
Me too. Literally a letdown.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I reach here, they're down at my knees.
They are your knees in a bra. A push-up bra.
Yeah. Yeah, push-up bra. Fuck, I'd need a get the fuck up there.
Rally the troops. Retreat.
Yeah. I'm going to bring out a new line of bras called the Drill Sergeant. Get up there.
Marching up and down the square. You got something better to do than marching up and down the square.
That's a great skit. I can't do that because I'll get company real quick.
Yeah, I'll do it. He can't hear you.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, I was going to try to do a complicated pipe thing, but it's too much. I can't.
What, are you a plumber now?
Well, you know what happened? I didn't tell the full story earlier. So, when I did my spill my coffee thing?
Oh, yeah.
I also ended up soaking.
Is that one of the things we got, apart from Ko-Fi and PayPal, we got spill my coffee.
Yeah. Well, it's turning out that way, but
please donate to spill my coffee.
Yeah. When I did that, I also dropped the rolling papers and they got soaked in coffee. So I can't roll a doobie, right? That's why I've been doing other things during, it's not working out for me today.
Do you know what I did on eBay? No, sorry, it was on Amazon the other day. Because this whole thing about rolling papers, shit like that. I go through quite a few, as you can imagine, because I'm not a quitter. And so what I did on Amazon, I bought a box of Swan papers. Now you can get boxes of Swan papers, a little pack of 5 from your local supermarket area.
You bought the store box, right?
I bought the store box of 200. It was like 12 quid. It was like fuck all compared to buying them individually.
That'll take you from here to cancer. You got no worries,
It would take me weeks to get through it.
Yeah, that's what I need to do.
It's hilarious. I've got it sitting down here. I've taken a couple out because as you do. Because think about cigarette papers, you just fucking lose them, don't you? You put them down somewhere. And I don't know. So you need another one. Yeah, so I've taken a couple out.
I do it with lighters. I buy a pack of 5, and they're scattered all over the place, and I just grab whatever one's handy. And they all die at the same fucking time because of the way I use them. It does not work.
And with lighters, I mean, I get refillable ones. Unfortunately, they're the clicky ones, so you can quite often hear me. I got to get a silent one. That's a silent one. No, the thing is, what normally happens with lighters is you'll have one lighter. You're down to one lighter.
Yeah,
and you'll have that for weeks. And you go, right, I better get some more lighters, just in case. You buy a little pack of 3 lighters.
Weeks? What do you do? One cigarette after the other? Like, do not use the lighter?
Well, pretty much. But no, I just refill it with butane, right?
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah.
But you'll have your one lighter that's good, and you always got it there. So then you think, well, I better buy some more lighters. Just in case. So I buy, a little thing of 3 lighters. I mean, once upon a time, I went to eBay and bought 100 lighters. Oh, fuck it. But you buy 3 lighters. Within a day, you've lost them all.
Yeah.
You can't find a single one of them. Like, why the fuck is it? Because you end up just like, I'll grab a new lighter, and then you put it in that pocket, and grab another lighter, and you put it in another pocket. And you just end up with these lighters just everywhere, but you can't find it when you need it.
Yeah. They need air tags. They need, like, BPs on them, right?
Oh God, I tell you what, no more beepies. I am so fucking fed up. Well, cooking in the kitchen these days is like the oven's going beep beep beep, microwave's going beep 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 beep, air fryer's going beep 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 beep. The washing machine's going beep beep beep. I am.
I know.
I am literally.
It's like living in McDonald's, man. It's just. It's unbelievable. I can't stand that. Like, in the morning, I wake up, right? And I need to thaw out the sausage patties for my son's breakfast. Now, I do it in the microwave, but I don't do it with the defrost because that button never works properly. It just cooks shit gray. It's awful. I do it at power level 30 to make sure it's really low so they come out cold, but defrosted, right? But every touch of the button, beep, 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 beep. Just shut the fuck. I'm the one using it. I don't need to know that, like, fuck.
See, you're like me. You suffer from anxiety. But there's nothing more anxiety inducing than having an entire kitchen beeping at you from every single fucking angle.
I know. Ever since the smartphone, something beeping is the thing that will set off anxieties the most. And society has decided that everything should fucking beep.
Well, actually, talking about phones, because once upon a time, you get me iPhone, and I'll find a cool ringtone, whatever. I haven't done that in years. I just go with the basic what it comes with. I really don't fucking care. I used to have my own, like, ones I put in, like, the dum 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 dun 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 dun. And all of these things. Exactly. And I haven't bothered. So my iPhone just rings with the basic, what it comes with. Racist. But the thing is, on television, people, when the phone rings, their phone rings with the basic iPhone setting.
Yeah.
And so
it makes you go.
But the thing is, being an anxiety type person, just the phone ringing is enough to set off your anxiety, because it's bad news, it's something I don't want to hear.
Especially if you're already elevated to like a level 2 or 3, or however you look at it personally, right? That's all you need is another one. Yeah.
Yeah. And so then you hear it on the TV. It's not even your fucking phone.
Yeah.
It's the phone on the TV. And exactly. Yeah. It just sets you off. You go, no, I can't. No.
Yeah. I'll when my anxieties trick off real bad, I shy away from social media a lot. And that's when I always get extra beeps like, hey, is everything okay? Yeah. I noticed you didn't do a show and stuff. I'm like, no, I just mute everything, right? And then when we come back from one of those little dips, I have to then answer all of those messages, and that can set one off. So sometimes it takes me days to catch up because I can only do a few at a time, It's a really strange game. And at 54 years old, do I feel stupid playing that game? Yeah, but I got no choice, man.
Well, I'll tell you what, when you die, what we'll do is we'll bury you with a gravestone that will have a little screen on it, and then just these messages can just keep beep, 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 coming up every now and then. You're all right, Dick. We haven't seen you for like 3 years. Beep, 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 beep. And you'll be down, 6 feet under, being chewed up by worms.
You'll crawling back up to fucking stop it, man. Shut it up!
man, fuck off. I'm dead.
Some people don't get it either because they're like, how could you be all anxiety, man? And you're sitting here doing this and, talking on the show and blah, blah, and whatnot. Even on like the Ukraine update, when we have 10 people on the show, that's 10 people, not a whole shit schwack trying to get a hold of you all day and stuff. It's completely different, right? It's very controlled environment. It's only for a couple hours. You psych yourself up, you go into it, and right, completely different.
Yeah. I mean, it's like you're a guitar player in a band, and still suffering from anxiety, but it's not the same. It's not the same thing. Yeah.
Oh,
people have a very hard actually understanding what anxiety is like.
Yeah. When you're on stage and there's a whole whack of people in the audience, you're on a stage, you're a little elevated, you're not actually interacting with them one-on-one. And as such, it doesn't truly set you off. It's not quite the same thing. And you can do a little defensive posture persona that you can pull in that situation that really gets you through.
We were talking about lighters. I just lost my.
Check in the crack of your ass. I'm sure you'll find one.
No, it's crack of somebody else's ass. That'll do.
Well, at least the kids are around when you need them, right?
Oh, dear.
So what else is going on then?
Don't know.
I'm still free because what I did was I just brought him up the entire pizza and some of the chicken and stuff, and he's probably upstairs still, gnawing on the neighborhood child that I got to deliver it.
And he's probably eating the fucking box by now. I mean, did you get yourself anything?
Yeah. Whenever we do this, we order a couple of pizzas and a whole bunch of the chicken wings and stuff, and so
you'll know later.
Yeah, exactly. I'll get my leg bone after. But for me, I'll just have like a few pieces and a couple of chicken wings, and then he basically has lunch for tomorrow, right? Out of the second one. But I guarantee he's eating the whole one now.
Yeah, it's the same with my kids as well. It's like, how the fuck can you manage to eat the entire fucking?
And these are like thick, deep dish pizzas and everything, man. Like it's a lot of fucking, And Felix is like 6'1", but he's like barely a 32 waist. He's a skinny dude, right? So
yeah, it's funny because the comparison between my eldest son and the youngest. My eldest is kind of got a bit of a belly going on there, but he'll eat half the pizza and then leave the other half for the next day. My youngest, who's skinny as a rake,
just inhale it.
Just scoffs the entire thing.
Yeah. You're watching them thinking, you should breathe while you do that, right? Oh, that was a good one. I tell you one thing, doing those little bottle-y thingies that I'm doing right now in the background, when you're in your 50s, if you don't cook that properly, it still works, but you've got to pick one of your lungs up off the floor and put it back in. So tread carefully, people. Do it right. Skills. It's like being a watchmaker.
Yeah. You should do like a how-to video on YouTube.
How to get stoned like a Canadian, eh?
Yeah. It's got the information it's out there. Somebody will search for it and up you will pop.
Successful
your viral video.
Yeah. Successful bottle tokes with a Shure mic and 6 beers.
Beers aren't necessary. You don't necessarily. You could even do it with a Blue Yeti if you must.
Oh, don't smoke
But
good hash in front of a blue Yeti. That ain't right. You know?
oh, actually, the two of us are, bonkers smokers, and I'm gonna touch my little foamy pad here.
I bet we turn some people off.
Do we have to replace these foam paddy things on the microphones every now and then?
Yeah,
Because it must be soaked in smoke.
You ever wake up with a clean sausage and give it a sniff? It's not a good place to be. Get a new one every so often. Absolutely.
Do they sell these like replacements?
Oh yeah, I think the puffs for ours are universal with the SM7B as well. So if not, these are so popular, I'm sure they're all over the place. But when you're replacing a puff for a microphone, a pop filter, whatever, don't go cheap. Dear God, don't go cheap, because if it's not made properly, it might as well not even be there. It's just a spit guard then.
Oh, I am too cheap for that. I mean, I'll just run it through the washing machine a bit.
Actually, if you just hand rinsed it out and dried it, it would work. No problem. But be gentle, right?
Oh, that's what she said.
Yeah. Treat it like your neighbor's ball sack. Just be gentle, right?
How much you want it?
Yeah. I go on that shit like a beaver. What?
Yeah, that's how I lost my teeth. Brass balls.
Mexi Girl says, I need to know what air purifier I use so she doesn't have to leave the stream. She's talking about like doing this. I have a little wall in front of me and a little door just to the right. And the door has a little vented window thing in it. I put it in. They're probably not going to be happy about that, but that's how it is. And it lets in the air from the window that's just over beyond. And then I have the sliding screen doors just to my left here, but with thick curtains hanging in front to block the bounce of audio, because glass can really reverberate. But I can open them a bit and you can't really see the effect. But as soon as the smoke goes above my head, it just goes to the left and out. Yeah. And because of that, all I have to do is once a month, just, scrub this room down a little bit. I use one of those Swiffer pads on the end of a stick, and
washer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, that's how I do it, right? I'm lucky in the setup, very lucky in the setup. Otherwise, it would be my whole downstairs and that would not be good. It's not just me living bachelor style, right? But yeah, and even still, because I do go out that door now and then and get up out of my chair and whatnot, I make sure that the ceiling fan to our upstairs is running, pointing down. There's 2 windows upstairs, so there's a little bit of air pointing down and whatnot. And as such, and then Felix has got his door shut because he's just watching a movie while I do this stuff or whatever. And if anything leaks out, I've pretty much got it covered. So yeah,
It's funny when you watch things about like painting restorers, and they have like a real classic old painting, been in a room. It's been in the smoking room of some Victorian house, for 200 years, and the thing is just like brown.
Yeah.
and they take a little swab to it and just like start cleaning it, and just all these colors start popping out.
Dude, when my father passed away, I got sent some paintings that were hanging in the house from when I was a kid, right? Real nice oil paintings. And I was like, yeah, okay, I'll keep them. And we auctioned a bunch of stuff off just because if they're not memories, they're not memories. Who gives a shit or whatever, right? And but I had them sent out with some other stuff. And when those paintings arrived at my house, I couldn't believe it because they had been in smoking environments their entire life. And there was these massive yellowy drips coming down the mall. And I was like, oh, that was a waste of money having them sent out to the cost of how much, right? You know, I ended up giving them to a friend of mine, right? Oh, yeah. They looked awful when you put them up on the wall. You know, it was bad. But I was born in, oh, wait a minute. I think we just lost Dunk. Yeah, we just lost him. He just dropped from the whole thing entirely. I guess he didn't like that story. I think I just got told off. No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, I was born in 1970, so my parents smoked inside, right? You know, that's just how it was. What are you going to do? You know? Yeah. Yeah, I'm doing that right now, grunge thing, you know? So, hey, you know what we should do as we wait for Dunk to rejoin? We should do that uncomfortable moment, especially for, you know, somebody with this flag. But don't forget to like. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet. But very much give the share button a hit. Now, you can share us out by just, you know, clicking the URL in the title and putting it into Facebook or whatever. But it's actually far more beneficial for us or any other YouTube channel that you watch to hit the share button because it has a special share link embedded in the URL. And YouTube knows that it was used. And it's a very, very powerful tool to a smaller YouTuber if you want to help them boost a bit. Use the share button. I'm not kidding. That's how it goes. We don't see Dunk yet. I think he got kicked off the internet. I wonder what happened. You know, maybe the police showed up. They finally figured out who he was. I can't tell you, but we'll see. If there's charges laid, then I can tell you afterwards, right? But yeah, that's why he won't go on camera. He's been wanted for, I think it's about 18 years now. He's been evading the MI6, MI5, FSB, CSIS, all of those, right? Hey, are you back?
Hey, I'm back. Lost you for a second there.
All right. I thought maybe they caught up to you and figured out who you really were, but
yeah, it's my smart TV.
Yeah. I recognize that penis.
It's staring at me. There's one good eye.
Okay, hold on. I'm just heating up the pipe here. I'm trying to do a different thing.
Are you doing your tutorial now?
Well, if I keep doing the little hash tokes, I keep having to light yet another cigarette and yet another cigarette to do it. And I'm well known for lighting too many of those as it is. So I'm trying to find a different route to happiness here. So hold on a second here. One sec. This could kill me. So.
What about becoming a multi-billionaire? That seems to make people happy. I mean, made Elon Musk extremely happy.
You know, Andrew Dice Clay was a wealthy man in his day as a comedian, and he didn't cross me as somebody that was overly happy. So I'm not really sure that works out in the end.
Yeah, he made his fortune by being a miserable cunt.
Yeah, exactly. Sam Kinison was wealthy.
George Carlin.
Yeah. See what I mean? You know, I don't really think it works that way. Oh, that was a really good one. When you judge your amounts properly, even if you're an old man like me, you're going to handle it. Damn, that one's empty. It's a good thing I have another one. And I shall drink it right now. There, I'm going to make up a Dean Martin song on the spot here. I was just kidding. I'm not going to do that.
Oh, no, you're not going to do that. Not going to do that.
Yeah. That's actually not on the agenda for now.
Yeah. Yeah, the only one thing I can think of, when the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, and some more.
Yeah, that's a black guy.
Ah.
When you wish upon your scotch.
I love D-Mine. Great.
Yeah. So, there's that whole switch that happens every generation. Like the answer to the 80s glam music and all the new wave and the suit and tie little bands and all that were kind of Motown revival and stuff. The answer to that was grunge and a whole whack of real dry, unproduced stuff and whatnot, right? Yeah. There's always this thing where the next generation wants nothing to do with the previous generation. But what they get suckered into is thinking that what's being marketed to them is new when it was actually just from 3 generations ago being rehashed, right? You remember when bell bottoms came back in like the 2000s or whatever, as if that was a new thing, and you know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I was talking about this the other day about 80s fashion, and people are like laughing at, oh, look how ridiculous that is. Yeah, you just wait. Big hair, big shoulder pads. They'll all be back. They'll all be back.
Every 40 years or whatever the cycle is, brown and beige cars come back into fashion. Like
Oh, the brown car, yeah. But they call them bronze now.
Yeah, now they're copper and bronze and stuff. But it is just, it's
brown.
just different. It's just different versions of baby shit, right?
Oh, it's like we're talking about the beige computers.
Yeah. Imagine
which isn't going to come back.
Imagine if computers were made as desktop slabs, like pizza boxes, the way they were before, and monitors were actually at eye level instead of lower. Would everybody's posture be better, or would we still be hunched over like apes all the time?
Yeah, apes.
Because that's why monitors were the height they were, because you put them on the computer. Why didn't monitors get taller? Right? Like my monitors here are on 2 monitor arms, my 2 big screens, and they're way higher than normal screens, right?
Yeah, but it's like the Dell monitor that I've got. It comes with one of those.
You're getting a Dell. American joke, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, okay, don't get it. But the Dell monitor I've got has got the whole lift on the back. Obviously, I've got the Apple Studio display, which has got no fucking movement.
Yeah, but it costs $1,000, right?
Well, no, actually, the one I've got doesn't even come with the option to have a lift, I don't think.
Oh no, the studio display, not the big cinema display, but the studio display. There is a stupid expensive option for that to have a lift up and down too, but it's $500 or something ridiculous. I mean,
which basically came free with my Dell, which cost less in the first place anyway.
Exactly.
It's bonkers. But that's what they did. They had, because don't forget the monitors back in the day. You had that kind of like ball mount on the bottom of your CRT.
Yeah.
And that was the level of adjustment you had. There was no up or downy or anything like that. You literally had to put it on a shelf or put it on top of the computer.
It had down. That slit down the center, right? So
yeah. It was just like a monitor that was just trying to get comfy in its seat.
Yeah. And it never slid properly. It was always awful and terrible.
Yeah, it was grungy. Yeah. Do you know my favorite, and I wish they still made them, was the old iMac with the whole lampshade like swing arm thing.
Oh, the G4 with the base, but that was the way that monitor attached with that arm was the greatest mount ever. I totally agree.
superb engineering.
Yeah,
I
you
just
could
wish
put
they
it
did.
way down like it was for a cash register. You could put it way up. It was so good. I totally agree.
Oh, the other thing as well, I remember just like having that and just like, you'd be sitting in the room, you'd be talking to people, say, and you want to say, what's on my, just swing it around.
Swing it. Yeah, I know.
Swing around. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Fucking great.
People that worked in like paint sales places and whatnot could just go, oh, here, and it was so, oh my God, that thing was awesome.
Yeah. Why do they have to kill that? I don't know.
They probably killed it because the patent expired and other people were going to copy it. So, but there's a thing with Apple.
I'd imagine it was too expensive.
Well, it could have been, but if they'd have just left it there for years, economies of scale would have made it worth it, but they got rid of it. Right. And Apple
and no one else copied it. No one else in the PC market when they, doing those all-in-one computers. No one else did anything else like it. It was only that one computer.
The PC market has always been a race to either the bottom or the top. The in between gets this weird mishmash. That's why in the PC market, like I've had PCs. Don't think I'm just some Apple fanboy. It doesn't work that way. But
me too. I've had PCs too.
Yeah, and I mean, just before this computer, I was on PC for the Shills and producing and stuff, right? But the thing in the PC market is you can get an okay deal on a cheap computer, and you can get a fair price on a really good one. But everything in the middle, it is kind of shitty at times, and you're better off if you know how, or if your neighbor knows how, to just build your own box. That was the real benefit of the PC market, because I mean, holy fuck, man, my Mac Studio was stupid expensive, right?
The important thing what we were talking about was just literally just the monitor arm mount. It didn't matter whether it was a PC or a Mac. It was just such a beautiful piece of engineering.
Yeah, and Apple engineered themselves out of a great device by making something else that wasn't as good. I don't understand that, right? I just don't get that, Well, you don't like. Do you guys feel this?
Well, they shoved the iMac into the actual screen display itself, as opposed to the old one. It was the base. The base was where the computer was, and you had this swing arm out to the monitor. And they just like, no, we'll just put the computer in the with the screen part.
Yeah.
So you don't need the base anymore. So
dude, as soon as the first iMac G5 came out, I bought one. Oh yeah, I wish I still had mine. I gave it to someone else. Yeah, I got rid of mine as soon as the Core Duo laptop came out, but I had that G5 for about 18 months and I loved it. Oh yeah. But I think it was the switch to the G5 style iMac with its more basic mount, and they were like, hey, if people accept this, we don't have to do this more expensive one. But whatever it was, there was a lot of these companies do this. They come up with something great, and then they switch and they switch and they switch and they switch, and they never follow through enough where, like, do we really need something brand new every year, like the way the phone companies are these days? And like Apple will do some big announcement. Oh, here's our new lineup for 2025. Yeah. All you did was a spec bump. We don't even need to know this, Like
but what's funny about that is, though, you see it on the YouTube, Mac pundits, and they go, well, they got the new iPad out and they haven't changed a fucking thing about it. It still looks the same. Yeah. What do you expect them to change?
I know.
It's a slab.
It's a slab of glass with a computer and a battery, right? What are they supposed to do?
No, they got a 45-degree bezel around the angle on the outside. New design. It doesn't fucking matter.
Actually, can I go back to bezel there, because I want to bring something up that was a big deal for me.
I don't mean screen bezel. I just mean literally a bezel on the edge of the computer.
Yeah, but I mean screen bezel on the original iPad. the screen bezel was purposely the size of your thumb, even if you're a bigger person, so you could pick it up and move without activating the screen and stuff. So you could swipe your finger in from the side to make sure the gesture worked and blah, blah, yada, yada. This whole thing, as if the bezels don't get smaller, the product hasn't advanced. Every single person who believes that, you drank the Kool-Aid, man, because it doesn't fucking matter. That's stupid.
Or it's like, you get the edge-to-edge ones, or even the ones that have got a screen.
They just break easier. Yeah, exactly.
The ones that curve around.
Yeah.
So, why do I need that?
Yeah,
exactly.
When you drop it, it just breaks. I mean, the first touchscreen phones had a tiny little bezel, I guess, that popped up over the phone around the edge. So if you dropped it, the screen wouldn't touch the concrete and smash. They don't do that anymore because it's style. No, it's
the
not.
funny thing as well.
You break it.
Going back to paintings that we were talking about. So you get an old painting. It's got like a frame round it. It might be like gold or gilded. They don't go, well, that's fucking shit. It should be edge to edge. I don't need that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Although you do get that. You get those clip frames, which is just literally edge to edge. But then the poster you put inside it has got a border around it, so it looks good. No, take the border out. Yeah, well, you don't need the border. Just get rid of that.
What? You remember when Apple switched to the iMac for the aluminum one? If you go back to their presentation when they brought that out, they explained how the black border around the screen was sized properly so that your eyes would have the correct contrast, iris, blah, blah, dilation of pupil to make sure that it maximized the contrast and everything of the image you were watching. This was part of the thing. And
that's the bullshit they gave people, but
But I actually think that kind of makes sense, right? Because nowadays people are selling these kits where you can have the RGB lighting behind your TV, so you're not just sitting in the dark, but it actually works with the thing. And I think the idea of the black bezel to make sure that you were grounded, and I think that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just that it's, our bezels are the thinnest is marketing now. It's bullshit. You don't need it. Like when I grab my laptop screen to close it, if there's a bezel, my thumbprint isn't in the way. But if there's no bezel, when I grab that screen, I've just made it so I have to wipe it next time. Just give me a bezel, man. I don't give a fuck. It's bullshit.
You think a lot of that comes down to the fact that you have people who just, and it's not just YouTube, it's just in general, who say, but thinner bezels, they're better. We need that because it looks like the technology is moving forward. And people like Apple, it's not just going to be Apple, it's going to be
all of them.
The industry. So they're listening to these people that go, I suppose they're right. We should improve things. We're not actually improving anything. We're just listening to their suggestions and just going with the flow.
Yeah.
We're not actually helping anyone.
We're bringing serious innovation to the table. Oh, it's 1/2 of a millimeter thinner. Ooh. Well.
It's like the executive branch of the presidency listening to some twat who builds electric cars on how to run stuff.
Yeah. God forbid that was to ever happen.
Yeah, no, that'd be stupid. That would never happen. Why could it have been Steve Jobs?
No way. Yeah.
The American government would be fucked, but at least it would look nice.
Yeah. We
would be designed well.
We could trade a guy with too many children for a guy who doesn't admit he has one. So,
we got rid of the staircase in the White House and we replaced it with these perspex glass stairs. And they just float in the air. It looks amazing. It looks great.
Well, hey, if Trump's going to turn the White House into a Tesla showroom, I'd rather it be an Apple store because they look really nice, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, they're clean. They're nice, you know.
They're nice.
We have a pot shop in my town just around the corner. And it literally is laid out like an Apple store. When you walk in, there's these little dishes that are kind of like locked and you can see the different bud and it's all white. And it's literally an Apple store for pot. It's hilarious, man.
I love it. I love it when I'm watching Star Trek: The Motion Picture, and the entire ship looks like a fucking Apple store. Even before Apple was invented,
That's probably where Jobs got it, right? You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And he probably argued for the uniforms. He was like, if Shatner can wear it, you all can wear it, but it didn't work.
Yeah.
Yeah. Girdles for everybody. Come on, squeeze in there. Whoops, sorry. I just did some weird SMR or ASMR touching the mic thing. Didn't mean to do that. No, stop it. Yeah. He's just scratching his ass. That wasn't, So we're coming up on 3 hours.
No way.
Yeah, way.
We've been blabbing on this long.
Yeah. I know. Must really suck for them.
Oh, you better get a consumer. Well, nobody's gonna fucking watch this when they see this turn up in their recommendations. Subscriptions.
I have good consumer advice. Get better taste in podcasts. Seriously, you've been here this long? Fuck, I wouldn't.
Yeah. Well, now they've just spent 3 hours watching this video.
Yeah.
To get to your consumer advice, telling them not to watch this.
Right. And we didn't even put ads in it. You should have
done it. Yeah. You should have done that at the beginning.
That's true. We could have saved you 3 hours, but turns out we're no better, or not smarter, or
none of the above. Whatever it is you're gonna say. None of
that. Here, what does this button do? It doesn't do fuck all. That's not working.
Does it end the stream?
Yeah. Wow, I think I just broke it. Okay, there we go. See? Yeah. I guess it has a mind of its own. It won't let me hit the buttons that it doesn't want me to. It's like having another wife. So, yeah. So remember, you can boil broccoli, but it's better when it's steamed. Is that good?
You can boil. You can boil pizza, if you want.
Yeah. Only if it's going in the blender when you're done.
You're going in the bin.
If you were to boil pizza, do you have to strain it with a coffee filter in order to get the protein back? And is that how it works?
No, just throw it in the bin.
Yeah.
Start again.
Just eat like a homeless Italian man.
This is the best pizza in a cup I've had all day.
I love that scene. That's awesome. Okay, so I don't know. Tickle when you get into bed tonight and you turn over, give mommy a tickle for me, okay?
And if mummy's not interested, give daddy a tickle. He'll like it.
Exactly. Somebody's going to be there for you, I'm sure. So let them know that we care.
Yeah, just make sure there's not a gun between the two of them. and don't let the dog in.
That's true, because salty licks are not for everybody. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. And do all those dirty things that makes YouTube think that we're popular.
After this exit, let's not leave a comment, because it's probably not going to work out well for anyone. Let's just go.
Leave a comment.